The game plays right here.
Are you ready for some football?
Your sports leader, WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, and WCSL Cherryville Gastonia.
Only do things incredible can, cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
Broadcasting. Thank you all for tuning in today. Hunter Yancey, Zach Mayhew, Kevin Hastings. And we're closer and closer now to more sports starting up. Baseball starting this week.
Tomorrow.
I thought some.
Yep.
What?
We thought it was Saturday, and it's
23rd.
tomorrow.
I
Yeah.
thought it was just this weekend.
Tomorrow.
I was fully prepared to just say Saturday.
Me too.
Or
Me too.
Friday, however you want to say it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
23rd.
We did the same thing Saturday, thinking it was Saturday. We even got who the teams are starting off against wrong and all that because they're playing tomorrow on KTC Broadcasting, WCSL 1590 AM. You can listen as always to Braves baseball, like you always have on KTC. Braves open up with the New York Mets, and then the Tampa Bay, a 4-game stint with Tampa.
So I was right. It's
Two
just
home,
what
two
day
away.
they started on was changed.
Yeah, they're starting Thursday and Friday against the Mets. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday against the Rays, and then we'll have then again a home series with the Mets after that. So it's 2 with the Mets, 4 with the Rays, and then 2 with them. We got all kinds of things to talk about today, Hunter. I'm just going down through my list today, just things popping here and there. There's an article here on about the NCAA. Or just suggesting what regulation would look like, or relegation.
Relegation.
Got the L and the G.
There you go.
Mixed up.
Relegation.
Explain, Zach, what that means, and then I'm gonna read the headline, Hunter. And,
Yeah, read
and
the
all I'm
headline.
gonna say is woo woo or woo woo. You know who this is talking about.
I know. Yes.
What would regulation and promotion look like in college football?
What
Demote
would-
the bad teams and make room for the up and comers. We look at the possibilities, and we know which teams that would affect. App State. Woo woo.
So, to explain to you, Zach, what relegation is, a lot of soccer leagues around the world, I know especially the EPL, the English Premier League, they run a relegation system. And basically what it is, since they already go points-based, and it's whoever has the most points at the end of the season is named the winner of the league, if you come in last, you're going to be relegated to... Just keep it in this. I'll just use it like this. Say you're Division 1, you would be Division 1A then. Okay, you would drop down, and the winner of that, the best team in that, would be upgraded to your spot. So it's always trying to keep a level of competition as high as it can be. And I think it's fantastic because to me, what it does, the reason why I like it so much is because I feel like that forces every game to mean more than just, oh, we're going to tank this year. Sorry, buddy, you're not going to tank this year because if you do, then you're going to lose a whole lot of money and you're going to be dropped down and be the laughing stock of the league. So if the NCAA did that, then I'm just twisting it this way. Kevin, you said App State.
Yes.
App State obviously has been a 10-plus win program for the last who knows how long. It's been very
UCF.
long. UCF. If it's a non-Power 5 team,
Boise
then what you could
State.
do is take the Arkansas.
And the North Carolinas.
Well, not North Carolina, not right now. No.
Hunter.
The
Right, Zach? We can take North Carolinas out.
all right, let's just
I got
stick.
you flustered with that one.
Let's just stick with Arkansas. We can take the North. We can
How
take
about Vanderbilt? Arkansas
Yeah.
has got some decent football.
not anymore.
Well,
Arkansas and Vanderbilt are laughing stocks of the SEC.
They
So
need-
you could, if you did relegation system and promotion, technically could relegate Vanderbilt. We'll keep with Vanderbilt
Right.
because it's closer
Would
to
the-
Appalachian.
let me ask that.
And
Would
then
SEC
put
not be
Appalachian
better?
in there.
would SEC not be better with App replacing Vanderbilt? Because two things. One, we're a way better football school. They suck. Jay Cutler's the only thing that's ever come out of there.
Yeah, but Vanderbilt's a better baseball and basketball school, though.
Well, that's cute. Two, we're
just
talking
saying.
football. Two, there's two teams in Tennessee in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
None in North Carolina. The ACC has 4 ACC schools in North Carolina. It would behoove the SEC to get Appalachian in the SEC to get those North Carolina recruits. Zach, if you're if you're a North Carolina recruit and they come at you in the apps in the SEC as opposed to Sun Belt, are you really thinking that as far as going to NC State or Carolina or Wake Forest? So that's another thing that I think App is in a position. If they ever did this, they should push for the SEC because of that. They wouldn't want to be ACC. We don't have 4 other teams at all.
They'd lose recruiting battles.
Yeah, so you'd want to be SEC. So that's where kick Vandy out. What are they doing?
Kick Arkansas out.
What was that?
I don't understand why Arkansas or Texas A&M is even in the SEC. I know A&M was at one time Big 12. Was Arkansas not? I don't
They would
understand
probably
that.
be decent in the Big 12.
The Big 12 is top heavy, just like the SEC is. There's 2 teams. Really one. Oklahoma has been very dominant. The rest of them are kind of mediocre, and Texas is trying to be back on the rise. Arkansas would fit right in there in the mediocrity that is already the Big 12.
Baylor in the Big 12.
Yeah.
They fared pretty decent over the years.
Yes, you're right. I'll give Baylor some credit too.
They don't get the credit. They don't get the credit.
Okay,
they
so
deserve.
they got a lot of wins underneath. Oh God, who was just there? But they fired him because they think that he was overlooking sexual harassment stuff. And
Didn't they?
At where?
Where's
at
TCU
Baylor,
Art Browse.
Art Browse, that's his name.
TCU's a mid-major, ain't he?
TCU used to be a
no.
Midwest. Now they're Big
They're Big
12.
12.
They're
Are
Big
they?
12 now.
Hey,
They
State's
used to
tough
be a
too.
Midwest. Yes.
When Thomason was there,
Yeah, they were.
they weren't Big 12.
Andy
that-
Dalton was there. They weren't Big 12 either. They were Mountain West.
I did not know he went there.
He won the Rose Bowl. People forget that about Andy Dalton. He won the Rose Bowl
Might
at
win Super Bowl.
TCU. He won the Rose Bowl at TCU over Wisconsin. So that was a mid-major beating Power 5 conference.
They actually saying that.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like if we wanted to go back to, because I think Maryland kind of fits more for the Big Ten than they did the ACC
I thought
because
I thought they
regionally.
did great in the ACC.
I'm talking just about region.
They're
I'm talking
on
about
the Atlantic
regionals.
Coast
I
Conference.
know.
You're talking
I'm
about
talking about
Yeah,
region.
they're on the
I
Atlantic
can't
Coast.
believe that they went.
Yeah,
That blew my
but
mind.
Rutgers is in the Big
But
Ten,
here's
and
why.
they're
Maryland actually won.
They
Especially
won
in
some
basketball.
ACC championships
Right.
in basketball.
They
Yes.
got a good football team.
Like
last
getting
couple
rid of
years, too.
Maryland and us adding Boston College, that just like what?
No, Boston College was already there. We got rid of Maryland
No, that's what I'm
and
saying. We
added
have Boston
Syracuse and Pittsburgh and Louisville.
We've got all these teams that aren't.
Louisville's not Atlantic Coast.
No, that's
But
in
if you talk
Kentucky.
regional, I think Texas A&M should have never joined the SEC. They just got tired of getting waxed by Big Brother Texas and Oklahoma.
Maryland's had a good basketball and football team for the last couple years.
Texas A&M started to be on the rise when they joined the SEC because of Johnny Football. That was it.
Maryland did get into the different helmets and all that other.
Yeah, they look really good.
Yeah, they started to be
But-
a little bit like Oregon on their
I
football.
cannot find my broadcast.
But what
page.
what are they saying about the relegation and the what was
They're
the
probably
story
even
just
if they're
talking
even-
about?
If they're going to be serious about it, I'll click on.
No,
it.
I guarantee they're not going to be
Just a
serious
proposal.
about it.
We ain't got nothing else to talk about right now.
Yeah, until baseball starts up and then basketball in 2 weeks.
Well, Hunter, what I'm aggravated for right now is I can't get to my page that you post. I can't get to my administrator page to get to our comments and stuff right now. I'm having trouble. Usually there's a little button right here
Yes,
that says administrators only, and it's
I don't know, man.
It's not there, and I don't know. what to
Facebook
do.
is Their UI is a different beast.
The social media is not helping out with the free speech in a lot of this in our world, which in our country, and one thing is, as someone in the media, to me, free speech, and there's a reason it's the number one amendment. As soon as you cut off speech, you cut off dissent, and you can't have a democracy without dissent. It's not a democracy anymore. So there's a reason our founding fathers made speech first, and if that don't work, gun second. like there's an exact order. Like you should be able to talk and speak freely. Now there are consequences as far as if you, I guess, offend someone or say something bad or whatever.
Libel.
Again,
I mean, there's a difference
right.
between just being able to say something and then straight out lying
I'll
about it.
always be a proponent about as far as free
But
speech.
I agree that I think social media has gotten to the point now, and I know it's kind of a little turn, but social media has gotten to the point now where smaller companies like us that are just trying that are still media, we still are out here reporting news whether they want to agree with it or not.
They don't give a rat's ass.
It's just silencing it, and it's very unfortunate. So Mark Zuckerberg, if you are listening to me right now,
that's where
you
like
are,
and share everybody.
Yeah, like
before
and
he
share.
starts
Mark
talking to
Zuckerberg. No, listen, Mark Zuckerberg, like and share. Do us a favor and like and share on your page. Like and share.
Would you fall off your seat if Mark Zuckerberg like and share your page?
Probably.
I just can't
because
understand why I can't get to this stupid thing.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. So all right, so let me get to the.
Get to the story.
Imagining a world where college football is relegation and promotion.
So it's imagining. It's bullshit. But if it was real, it would be
they
cool.
start off talking about Temple.
Wow.
Oh, that's a Tar Heel opponent, Hunter.
Well, we beat them. Hey,
In the bowl game.
in the bowl game, that's all. Hey, let's get it.
The only sport in the world where you get a trophy for being claimed the 40th best team in the country. How many bowls are there, Hunter? Do you know?
Too many.
Do you know? I don't know.
No, I really don't know, but I will sit here and tell you there are too many. I don't need to know who wins the Idaho Potato Bowl
So I'll pull
and gets
this,
a bowl full of potatoes.
I'll just pull this up for the folks at home. I guess they can.
Read along.
Let me find my button. Here we go. College football now. A team like Kansas can endure a decade of futility and still keep a seat at the table, while teams like UCF and I'll say Appalachian are not. Logistically speaking, the answer would be never, probably, because you probably need like if Kansas gets kicked out of the Big 12, do you not think they're going to call it the Big 10?
Yeah.
You'd be like, can we play in the Big 10?
Well, to me, if you, in all seriousness, Kansas, you'd be just as good playing in the Mountain West Conference.
Well, any of them, but they're going to
Seriously.
call, to me, one of the bigger. I would say one of the Power Fives to try to get in that. 'Cause I think that's what this
It's
guy. I
tough
think that's
for
what
me.
they're
It's
talking
tough
about.
for me to wonder though. Like, why do they call them Power Five just based off of student size? Like,
No,
why
no,
you?
no,
Why?
no, no,
why?
no.
I know, but like, is that the only reason why you would even get invited to join one of these major conferences? Is student size because
Mm-hmm.
you can bring the revenue to the table that the conference wants?
The first thing to get, as far as the conferences go, there's no. I don't think each conference has a requirement on that. The NCAA does have a requirement as far as seating to be Division One. So
Okay.
App did have to add some seats to be able to be Division One. So there is a small requirement about that. It's 30, 40,000,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's not that big actually. It's just you got to be able to hold.
Right.
Like if Miami's coming to town or Bama's
You gotta
coming
be
to
able to
town,
support it.
their team, or their fans or whatever coming in. You're talking about the English, the EPL. They lose 6 teams.
Yeah. No, like they cut out a ton, and then they boost up another 6.
So the option one is one team from every power league gets sent down, and group of 5 teams come up.
That's not enough, technically.
Assuming regulation decisions are made by conference records with tiebreakers and head-to-head outcomes, the 2019 season would have gotten rid of Rutgers,
Wow.
Kansas, Arizona,
This is a big one.
Arkansas,
This is a big one.
and North Carolina State. We will be talking about this Saturday morning.
Yep.
We're
Wonder why.
opening the show
With
with
this
Saturday
Terry.
morning. And
They
let's
would
see.
have relegated NC State.
He's got
He's gonna lose his
Saturday's
mind.
gonna be so fun. This is the
This is the dumbest
the
thing.
dumbest idea.
This is the dumbest
stupid.
idea
Who
ever.
cares? NC State. blah,
And then
blah,
who
blah.
would they have been replaced
The
with?
teams would have been replaced with, of course, like I said, Appalachian State University Mountaineers, FAU,
Florida Atlantic.
Lane
Look at that.
Kiffin back to the SEC. He wouldn't
Well,
even had to leave.
Yeah, but now he's at Ole
He could have
Miss. But
stayed.
he
at
could have stayed.
FAU.
Yeah.
Miami of Ohio, Cincinnati, the other Queen City, and Navy and Air Force would both have matched up in bowl games for their shots at a promotion too. With this plan, the drama of those group of 5 postseason showdowns would rival anything that the New Year's 6 games had to offer, it says. And that's a good idea. Put them in the bowl. I guess they're playing for it in a bowl game.
But you're playing for your spot.
Playing for your spot. So App would have to beat Cincinnati, bring them on. Bring on the Bearcats and Navy. And
Yeah,
Air
it might not
Force.
be a bad. Let's keep you talking about the relegation part of it. Why don't we say, okay, if you finish last in your conference, you had to play the one that won the championship, and whoever wins
Play
that
for your
gets to
spot.
stay. Yeah,
So App versus
that makes it fair on it.
And
Like- like so-
if you win, you
so-
keep your spot. If you
so-
lose, flip flop.
Yeah, I
App-
think that's a good idea, and that kind of puts it into perspective. Like, we're just gonna lose our spot. No, we're gonna play you. And that gives the winner of that division to say, hey, we're gonna come take your spot. That's fair.
I like it.
I like it. That
I'm
just
fine
keeps it
with
from flip flopping.
I'm fine with it.
Think about how
Are you agreeing that soccer
terrifying.
actually has a good idea?
That's the only idea they've ever had that's good.
Okay, whatever.
Are they a real league?
What?
Soccer.
Yes.
I'm just playing.
Yes, it's a real sport, but some people call it football because you use your feet, actually.
It's called football.
Football.
Zach, we're in America, and they call their soccer teams still football clubs.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what FC stands for.
Shouldn't it be SC? Like, think about it. That's what they
I think
call it.
there is a
like
team
the
that's
Panthers
called
should be the
SC.
Carolina Football Club
That's right.
with Panthers. I think the biggest thing y'all are missing. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, but this.
All right, so App
I love
State,
this idea.
So App State versus NC State. Terry would be shaking in his boots.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. You would be pulling for your team. Just don't lose. Just don't lose. Not like, yeah, we're gonna win. Just
I think
But
no,
you get
and
a bowl
also,
game.
how
Think about
many
this real quick,
Division
real quick,
One?
John.
How many Division One conferences are there?
real quick. Instead of North Carolina versus Temple in a bowl game, having the worst team in the ACC that makes it, and the worst team in the Big East makes it, replace those two teams with the NC State versus the App game.
And see, and the winner stays in the ACC.
Wouldn't way more people care and watch NC State App
To see
as
who's-
opposed to Temple
yes.
North Carolina bowl game?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, well, more people here.
We'll
yes.
say this.
I'm talking about across the country.
I think they'll like to watch it better because this is
This is a make or break moment.
taking your
right,
spot.
Carolina Temple
Yeah.
don't mean nothing.
Right. It's like, who cares? It's a 47th bowl game.
I'm telling you, I love this idea.
I do.
I
do
love
too.
this idea. But the reason why I asked how many Division One
Now-
football or just Division One conferences are there
Now-
is because
I'll tell you.
I know that they're talking about you would have to take just the 5, bottom dwellers of the Power 5 conferences. Well, then you're only upgrading 5 teams.
Now
What
the-
if there are like 10 teams that are all double-digit wins and deserve
I'm
it?
sure
Well,
Terry
could you
and them
not
will make the argument, and Tom as well, that those little teams don't deserve it. And what you were making the point was, well, how did the teams get in the SEC to begin with?
Well, that's what I've always
and that's what
I've
you was kinda
asked this.
saying?
I've always asked this for years because when it comes to tournament time, and they're always talking about who's going to get in the bracket and who's going to get there for March Madness, they go key wins. They talk about Power 5 wins, and they talk
Right.
about that at the football level too. I'm like, yeah, but who designated these 5 conferences as being the powerful conferences? You know what I'm saying?
They
And,
already
and
get-
I'm not going to sit here and say that the teams in them are bad. We know they got powerhouse teams that are always good.
There's
but
11 conferences.
They ought to
11?
have a. They ought to have a. How many?
I could fix that easily.
Let's just say, the conversation we had last week. How many Power 5 teams did you win? But how many cupcakes did you play? That just knocks out one of your
And now-
Power 5.
yeah,
Right, it
yeah.
evens it out.
Evens it out.
You're back to zero. If you played, what is one of those? That's not even a Division 1. They're Division 2 that they play in. Georgia Southern, is that one of the ones that come
Georgia
up play?
Southern. What is that? That's 1A now? 1 double? Or
I was saying-
they're D1 or
what I was
D2?
saying is-
Georgia Southern's still in 1
Well, I was going to
Yeah.
say what I was saying was
let me
is if you got a Power 5 win and that counts, it ought to get negated if you played a team that's a Division 2 and you won against them.
Yeah, it should nullify.
you're
it.
Alabama.
Like if you're Alabama, say, oh, well, we beat Southern Cal at the beginning of the year,
Right.
but you beat Western Carolina.
Yeah, so
it's
you
like,
just
it's like-
negated that
it's
win.
like,
Yeah, you canceled it out.
blank slate.
Because you just played nobody.
All right,
Yeah.
Georgia Southern's they moved to the Sun Belt with App. I was thinking they might have. So App's conference is App State. It would have been App State versus Louisiana in the championship game, which they played. App State won. Other teams in that conference is Georgia Southern, Georgia State. Remember, they had some upsets this year over some teams. Did Georgia State beat Tennessee?
Yeah.
Hunter, head to head. Georgia State beat Tennessee.
yeah, they did.
The Troy's Trojans, that's where DeMarcus Ware's from. Coastal Carolina is in that conference. The Arkansas State future Washington Red Wolves are in there too.
Let's get it.
You'd think Tom would like it because the Mid-Atlantic Conference is Miami of Ohio, Ohio Bobcats, Kent State, Bowling Green, Akron. So that's 5 teams from Ohio that would be
Okay, I know what it is.
able to get into.
Okay,
it.
so it's like under the college football playoff system. This is where they got the term Power 5 for. Because in 2014 when it was established, there was a term automatic qualifying conference. It's AQC. It is no longer in use as the Rose Bowl Championship Series, the BCS, that's what it was, has been discontinued. So when they got rid of the BCS and added the college football playoff, they got rid of automatic qualifying conferences and named out 5 Power 5 conferences, but there were originally 6. So there were 6 conferences that automatically qualified for bowl games. Of course, there's Big 10, Big 12, ACC, Pac-12, and the SEC. Well, the 6th one was the Big East, but it dispersed. Yep. And so now it's the American Conference. So that's why now they call them the Power 5 conferences. But even then, I'm sitting here, I'm saying, but who decided that they were the ones that were, automatic qualifying conferences to begin with over maybe, say, like the Mountain West? Oh. The Mountain West for years had some high-quality talent when it came to who was competing against Power 5 conferences. They had Boise State. They still have Boise State. And they had TCU. Now, both of those have been out there making enough noise in their own respective bowl games that they deserved national credit, but they would always get overlooked because they weren't considered a Power 5 conference. But I could argue that Boise State and TCU at the time were better than some of the 5th and 6th best teams
Before
in those SECs.
We wouldn't be able to
Absolutely.
find out.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be able to find out because I know the TCU had some pretty good football teams that were undefeated for a couple years.
Like, think
Stayed
about
around
it.
5th in the nation, I think.
Think about it. TCU made the Rose Bowl. 2014? What year was Andy? Andy Dalton was drafted the year after that.
It was the same year Cam come out then, I believe. Or a year
yeah,
before.
that was the same year that
Because he was a second-round draft pick.
Cam Newton was what, 2010? Maybe? When did TCU
Now, the one
win
thing that's going to throw a little bit of a wrench and be able to do that, in reality is what do you do with if you're using
2011.
If you're using football as the gauge, what does that do to your basketball teams?
See, that's what it is.
Who cares?
2011, the 2011 Rose Bowl. Think about it. So they switched.
It's going to do, Carolina's football team sucks, but the basketball team's pretty
yeah.
good.
But
what if Duke gets kicked out of the ACC?
They would because they didn't have enough seats.
yeah.
What if they got kicked out?
But the way that it's set up is so the 2011 Rose Bowl, let's take this into consideration. Usually what it is most of the time Rose Bowl is what? It's a Pac-12 team versus a Big 10 team.
Yeah.
That's how it was originally set up. And if that's the case, then this really shouldn't have even happened. I believe the only reason they gave it to TCU is because they were so highly ranked as a, non-Power 5? That's what they would call it. Because it shouldn't have added up this way. It was Wisconsin versus TCU. It probably should have been like Wisconsin versus Oregon. But TCU won. Mm-hmm. This was Andy Dalton's year. And TCU won. So, I don't know. To me, it's just I will never understand who it was that just looked at these conferences and said automatic qualifier, automatic qualifier, automatic qualifier. Like there's 11 conferences.
Probably the ones with the most money.
That could be a point.
Yeah, Hunter. Do you think people don't think Andy Dalton is as good as he is because he's redheaded? I know that's just a weird thing to ask or say, but I'm just saying why do people think he's not any good?
They call him the Red Rifle?
Because why do people not
think
think
he was in
Andy's
Cincinnati?
Good? And he started his career with 5 winning seasons.
Do you know who the defensive MVP of this game was?
Because he was in Cincinnati.
My man's name was Tank.
Yeah,
Tank Carter.
He'd signed with somebody. If he'd have been with somebody else beside a Bengal, got a redheaded dude from the Bengals.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
I just really don't. I think it's because he's with the Bengals. The Bengals just.
I think it was
they
because
would be the ones, the teams that get kicked out. And
it's because he went to the
up.
Bengals. It's because he wasn't a first round draft pick, and it's because he played at TCU. He didn't play at a Power 5 conference. He didn't play at a Power 5 school.
He's had some bad luck too. He's had some
key
really
offensive injuries.
weird hand injuries. It's like his thumb.
Was that the Panthers could have picked Von Miller and Andy Dalton, and you went with Cam Newton, and you got to a Super Bowl, didn't win. You got 3 winning seasons in 9 years. Andy Dalton has more winning seasons than Cam.
I have not found
In
a Patriot
Cincinnati.
fan that's happy yet.
No Patriot fans.
That's happy, and I think I might have sent you this. The Cam's Madden rating was 78.
Was it? I didn't see it.
78.
78.
That'll go up though, but
I don't think so. If
Maybe
he's sitting on the
not.
bench,
If he
it might
play-
go
Well,
down.
if he
Yeah,
does,
if he plays well,
if
it'll
he
go
plays,
up,
yeah.
but if he don't,
But can we start a petition to get that relegation system put into college football?
I mean, like I said, I like the concept. They would never get it passed because
They'd
of
never get it passed.
But I
because
think it's great.
because the NCAA looks for money from these Power 5 conferences.
I would like, and here would be a fair thing to do. Okay, say if you're App State and you win every year, your championship, and you can get to choose which.
Conference you want to
Yeah,
join.
I want to play you. And then do it that way. And if more people choose that, then you might have to put them in a
Well,
lottery.
what I
to
don't
see
understand either is so
who
we
gets that.
have
you could just tie conferences if you really want to do it that way.
Yeah,
The
you could do that.
regionals, You could say whoever wins the Sun Belt plays the big
it's
team.
basically
just
a farm.
just like you
It's
do
just
the
like a
bowl.
farm league.
Yeah, just like you did the.
well,
the bowl
you could
system
do
where
this as well with
they're
it.
tied to
I don't see why these maybe take the top 2 from because let me see. There's 11 Division 1 football conferences. We already have the Power 5. Why can't we just have these 6 conferences say, well, we're the Super 6 now, and just take their top 2 and maybe make a super conference?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, we talk about it how technically the SEC makes so much money they could break away from the NCAA and just screw them for football.
So Georgia Tech, Tulane, and Sewanee are all former members of the SEC. Arkansas, Missouri, South Carolina, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt have never won an SEC title. Mississippi State hasn't won since 1941. Kentucky hasn't won since 1976. Ole Miss hasn't won since 1963. And Tennessee hasn't won since 1998. Only 5 schools in the SEC have won a SEC championship since the turn of the millennium. 12 schools we get preached to all the time, Hunter. I know you're a Georgia fan about how it's the greatest thing in the world is the SEC, but you've got 7 out of 12 schools that's hasn't won a title in 22
And
years.
7 out of those 12 schools get dog walked when they play the top 5.
5 of them have never won. Oh, that's no. They got 14 teams now, don't they? So that's 9
Well, added
teams.
Texas A&M
Yeah.
and they don't have Vanderbilt on that, do they?
Yeah, they're dead
do.
last year. There's 14 teams in the SEC, so 9 teams,
Mm-hmm.
Hunter,
Don't win.
haven't won since 1998. Like it's not like it's not parity. It's not like the NFL or anything. Like it's not. These teams aren't any good. I mean, Zach, do you think Appalachia could never win a championship like Vanderbilt? I mean, that's the argument when they say App can't play in the SEC. Well, hell,
App
Vanderbilt
can play in the SEC. What's going to happen is if they would get into the SEC, then they would recruit better.
That's the thing nobody ever sees or notices, right? If you're in the SEC,
I mean, they're not going to take that team and compete every game against.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just they're going to be 6
right
and
now.
5.
Well, I will tell you
right
this.
now with their players, they could probably
6 and 5.
4 or 5,
7,
3 or
4
4 wins. Depends on who they play in the conference.
Depends
In
on
the
which
con-
side you're on.
Right. They could go 3 or 4 wins in the conference, I believe.
And then you
now,
could-
if you have SEC players on your team,
You're competing
Or-
as top
I think they're
4.
already in
And,
the,
and,
they're
they're
already
in
in
top
the-
and if you get Alabama's cupcake schedule,
well, yeah, they play
Listen,
Western. Western. App plays
Won't
Western, and no App. Shit. Alabama, their dumbass weak schedule. That stuff's so stupid. Hunter, I did come across a couple of teams that's going to have to change some names here while I was searching through here.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Oof. Imagine.
Well, who was it? Central Michigan are named after a Native Americans.
No way.
San Diego State Aztecs.
They killed people.
The Central Michigan Chippewas. Is who I was referring to there.
If I'm not mistaken, Antonio Brown played at Central Michigan.
Now, Miami's Red Hawks. Y'all want to be the Washington Red Hawks?
I didn't want a bird. I don't want to be a bird. There's too many birds already.
I agree.
Philadelphia, Baltimore, Seattle, Arizona. Like, I don't want a bird.
I mean, this is offensive to hot 40-year-old ladies, the BYU Cougars.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but they're Mormon. They don't think about it that way.
Oh, good. Mean Green. North Texas Mean Green. You can't be mean to people. You got to do something about that one.
Wow. Name changes
No,
everywhere.
No.
No
Mean-
name is safe if all of
mean-
my teams have to change their name, damn it. No name is safe.
Illinois Fighting Illini. That's just a weird one. And I know that was Native Americans.
I'm about to say, that's a Native American. Mm-hmm. What about the Raging Cajuns? Is that not?
Yeah.
Yeesh. I mean, Louisiana Tech. No, was it Louisiana State? Is that who it is? Louisiana State Raging Cajuns?
I don't want to answer the question.
No, Louisiana State's damn LSU. What am I talking about? Who's it? Louisiana? Is it Louisiana Tech?
It might just be Louisiana.
It might be.
I'll get you this. I said they're in the Sun Belt, ain't they?
Yeah, they play you guys.
University of Louisiana Monroe's the Warhawks. I don't know. You got
I think
me
it is
wondering about that
Louisiana.
now.
I think it is.
La Tech.
La Tech. Is it?
I don't know. Just messing with you.
I don't know. Hold on. But look, hey, they are the Raging Cajuns.
Is that La Tech or just Louisiana?
I think it's just
plain Louisiana.
It's just plain Louisiana.
I didn't think.
They are the Raging Cajuns. We're going to make them change their name? Huh? Them Cajuns don't want to be called
I
Raging?
don't know.
They're not always mad. They're nice
I know.
people.
I know. Awful good people they are. All right. Any other thoughts or comments on college football? They're looking, maybe they. I don't know if they're going to play this year. I'm not feeling too confident.
I mean, they're looking to start on time. The problem is they're just going to play in conference. That's it. If that's how it is going to go. I thought I saw something a second ago that was like, but then they had to break this news, and I really don't give a shit about this news, so they took it off the screen.
Mookie.
So, Mookie, I don't care. He sold his soul away. That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. I know it's a lot of money, but he sold his soul away. $380 million. So for those of you that are just listening to us, breaking news sources: Mookie Betts and the Dodgers are finalizing a deal, $380 million plus deals. Reports say it is going to be 13 years. That's what I meant by he's signing his soul away. It's another one of those Mike Trout, Bryce Harper type deals where you're just stuck.
That's the original A-Rod deal.
The thing is, Bryce Harper's deal is worse than both of them because it's a no trade clause. He can't be traded.
And he's horrible.
All right. Sorry, let me finish on some of this.
Go ahead.
Three kick.
So, but there's your breaking news. You guys say we never break anything. There's your breaking news. Literally happened. Just popped up. Breaking news. So all your Dodgers fans, you're screwed. Paying them too much money.
So they're going to play kickoff. They're supposed to be playing kickoff games in Atlanta in weeks 1 and 2.
All teams in Atlanta for football, college football?
It's supposed to be
Because it's usually the Chick-fil-A, ACC, SEC kickoff
right.
game.
There's another teams too. If the 3 decide to adopt them all conference games plus 1, I don't know. I'm trying to read through this.
Oh my God! Did that just say like Louisville, Kentucky,
Yeah,
and
Notre Dame wants to play-
Clemson, Miami,
Notre
or
Dame wants
Clemson?
to play out Miami. I mean Alabama.
Because what I was just trying to read right there from this far away is it looks like they're trying to still get those rivalry games in that are out of conference, like Georgia, Georgia Tech, Florida, Florida State,
Yep.
and
what
South
they're saying
Carolina.
is,
Yeah.
the Peach Bowl CEO who set this up with Chick-fil-A, they estimate, they're not losing the money.
No.
It's not like it's coming out of their bank account. They could have made up to about $100 million that they could lose if this gets turned into that. This is a 3-sided model of conference games plus 1 non-conference game. SEC, ACC rivalry games between Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Kentucky, Clemson, South Carolina would be surely saved, is what they're talking about.
Because Clemson, South Carolina is going on like 114 years straight playing each other, and it's on the line if they just don't, if they stick to strictly conference only. It's on the line.
So yeah, there's a couple of things to think about there with that.
I think college football will be played. I think professional football will be played.
Notre Dame's asking for a delayed start in between 8 and 10 games.
No, Notre Dame, join a damn conference, then we'll listen to you. If I was the NCAA, I would literally put that in I would just have a template already set up, prepared for any time Notre Dame emails us about anything football related. I'd be like, no,
Shows you how
join a
much
damn conference.
Power football has when you can have a team that's in a conference in the basketball but not in the football.
Right. I mean, okay, as far as the delegate relegation thing, I would say that could be a football only rule. Because you're only playing 10 games anyway, or 8 games.
Yeah.
So you don't want to, like you said, if you're tying teams to being kicked out of a conference for football, doing 8 games in a schedule is way easier than saying, now your basketball team, now Duke has to play home and aways with Louisiana, Georgia State.
But then you're almost looking at the point where it's like, well, then what's really the point of
What if Duke
what's the point of these conferences to begin with then?
Right.
It's like
But so you'd have Duke winning the Sun Belt basketball championship if you did that.
Yeah.
I don't think that would work. I just
Might
think
not
football
happen
only.
because they might not get their recruits.
Well, Hunter, for years,
True.
I've
They wouldn't be in the ACC.
I've advocated for a system in North Carolina high school sports that football have different conferences than the other sports.
Yes.
Cherville can compete in almost every sport but football. Same with best. It's a numbers
Football,
game.
yeah, I was
It's
gonna
how
say,
many
it's a numbers
linemen.
game.
It's how many linemen you have. That's the biggest thing. Defensive and offensive. Once you get there, your one or my one might be the same, but I don't have 5 good big linemen.
And they might not have to play both sides.
Yeah, and then that's another big thing. Just hearing people. Once I went to college, Hunter, and just, hey, did you play football? Yeah. Well, they'd be like, what position do you play? Well, my senior year, I was quarterback, punter, kicker, holder, and safety. So which one? And he's like, well, I played linebacker.
That was
Did you do anything else?
That's
all
it.
they had to do.
No.
That's all they had to
Focus
do.
all their attention on that.
That's
and you
all
know
they had to
what?
do.
They can hone their skills on
And
that
it-
too.
I had to know
it
all the
speaks to
offensive
it.
plays, all the defensive plays, all the trick play. I had to know everything on the team that had to do it. And
Yeah,
these
I mean,
guys,
and it
I played
speaks to
linebacker.
it when you look at these smaller schools. I mean, think about it. Florida Gulf Coast made a deep run in the NCAA basketball tournament years ago. Do they even have a football team? I don't think so. Same thing goes with like Wichita State. I don't think they have a numbers game to even be able to have a football team. They might. I haven't checked. But Wichita State's always like, and we talked about it. What Monday? I brought up VCU, Virginia VCU.
That's because
I don't think they have
you're
a
throwing
football
10
team.
people, 12 at most in a basketball team, and then
You only need-
versus 60.
You only need one that can get
I think there's
25
I think there's 100 on a
basketball,
college
yeah.
team. I think there's 100 players on a college team. Just maybe 60 dress out.
Yeah, college teams have 100 man rosters is what they are.
But only a certain like maybe 60 of them dress.
The basketball.
Rest of them are red shirts.
Well, Hunter, this is the question I always had as well too. Well, so North Carolina, what I was saying is that to me it would be better to split up the conferences in football than the rest of the stuff because, like I said, the schedule is only 10 games or 11 games. You can do a lot better with that. But then also, what you could do, Hunter, is get bigger conferences. Mm-hmm. So what you would say, you'd say we want 11-team conference or 12-team conference, and then just play your conference. And to me, designing everything around football, you could have better conferences, better teams. So Shelby, you could get in there with the team. Shelby, Crest, Kings, you make your own division. Put all the good ones in that. You could also look at a way.
I mean, what? This is still technically Mecklenburg County. You can put Charlotte Catholic in there with them.
Well, my idea, Zach, was instead of doing the football 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A based on students' numbers.
Wins.
No. Do it on actual football player numbers. You know what I mean?
How many you have on a roster?
Like, so if you got all together, I'm talking the whole program.
Okay.
So at Bessemer City, for example, JV and varsity added together will have 50 people. Okay?
That's nothing. That's nothing.
At Crest, they'll have that on the varsity.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that instead of doing it by
Students.
because then what you so for example, what I would say, Shelby is way closer to Cherville in 1A as far as number of students than they are Kings Mountain in number of students. But Shelby will have 75 football players, and Kings Mountain will have 75 football players, and Cherville will have 30 or 40 or 50. So what that was my proposal was that the teams and Terry and Thomas look, well, they're going to fudge the numbers. Like, they fudge the numbers on the students anyway. But if they register this year and send it into the max preps, hey, on August 5th, we got 90 players. Well, that's what you use next year. So there is no fudging. So you know what your rosters are. You know what they are, and that's what it'll set up for next year. I think that would set up, I would say, more competitive, more balanced. Like Shelby, basically, should they be playing in the 2A at this point?
No, and then you got. I did. There's two things dealing with Shelby on that deal, and I also like Burns when they went down. Mm-hmm. I thought it was more competitive for Burns. I thought they had struggled against. At one time, I think they might have been fielding more students. You know.
Oh yeah,
with
they
their
were.
team.
Yeah.
And then I think when they went down 2A, they were more competitive because they weren't that good for a couple of years. I hate it for the Burns fans on here, but y'all were great last year. But then you got the Cherville that's having to go and play charter schools, and we've talked about charter schools. It's not fair. They're basically like Charlotte Catholic. Kings Mountain playing Charlotte Catholic. That's not fair. You know, I mean, Charlotte Catholic recruits too. Mm-hmm. I mean,
so
there's got to be a way to level the playing field. And I hate to use this model because I'm not the biggest fan of this model. The way NASCAR has kind of leveled the playing field, you know, make everything as even as they can. So when you get on the field, you get to see who the best player might be. You know, or
Right.
best-
I mean,
best-
how much better would entertaining would Shelby in the 3A? I guess.
Well,
playoffs?
what I've always wondered
they
is like-
dog walked whoever. So it was
Right.
Salisbury.
Oh,
this
it
year?
wasn't
Oh,
even close. It was what?
Salisbury they didn't even need to get off the bus. Damn, they didn't need to get off the bus. What I don't understand though either is
and I've said it. The championship was the Burns Shelby game.
What if they did this,
was
Hunter? Here's
championship.
another idea. I don't like this one as much as I do the roster size numbers because this is a voluntary thing. In college, you say when you play intramurals, you register for a certain level. Say our team's 1A, our team's 2A, our team's 3A. You know if you got a squad, so you register for
for
a
a high
certain
school level, you register for that level.
And then you could even make the rule if you win the championship in 2A, you got to play 3A the next year.
Well, then there's your relegation promotion system.
Right. Would you be against something like that? Whoever wins the
No,
championship.
and I've always said this too, and people are probably going to hate me or not. If the private schools are going to do it, let public schools recruit. Let public schools recruit.
That's a school choice thing, and
I mean-
I'm sure Zach's probably for that.
Let public schools recruit.
I've always been for school choice. I don't
Yeah.
think why you should
problem with that.
you should
I
be
don't have a problem with that at all.
relegated to a school.
I don't think you should be relegated to lines. The lines.
right. Well, I have to go to this school because I live near you
In this district.
and that's it's a tax money.
We'll say this: like for us, Gabby was closer to Burns,
yeah.
but we were in Lincoln County. She
Right.
couldn't go to, but she had to go to West Lincoln. And if we had a choice, you know what I'm saying?
If you had the right zip code, you'd be in Burns.
we were
Essentially,
closer.
is what you're
is what
saying.
I'm saying. Yeah, we were close.
Well,
We were
that's
closer
like
to
me.
Burns.
So if it was American Legion,
That's
does,
like me. I'm closer to North Lincoln than I was Bandy's.
American Legion does that. Is that it's however you're the closest post. So like if you're closer to that school, that's the school you go to. That's what American Legion does. And then that Legion post can release you if you ask for a release. That's allowed. So that could be a thing that high schools do.
Because you could put like, let's just say this is your school, right? And you could say this whole radius right here is
It's
what
going
you
to
draw
that
from. It's
school.
not like, you know. I guess maybe they do that now. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
I
All
mean,
right,
they,
how about this?
they do to a degree, but I think what
that
it should
threw
be is
Gabby out, that threw because we went to Cleveland County. I think that threw her out because I think it's because we was in Lincoln.
Because think
County,
about it. I mean,
with West Lincoln.
you got colleges recruiting anyways, and kids have got their own choice to go to whatever college they want. They don't really have a choice when it comes to elementary school and middle school
Right.
and your freshman year of high school. But after that, you're 16, you're driving. You should be able to decide which school you're
Well,
wanting
if
to
your
drive to
parents
or
are willing
not.
to drive
Yeah,
you
and if your
somewhere.
parents are willing to drive you somewhere.
So, for example, that
they shouldn't have to register to try and get you a transfer.
Are you familiar with Startown Road?
Yes. Yes.
So y'all know where Lincoln Middle School is, right? Mm-hmm. I had two friends that went to college that grew up half mile from Lincoln in middle school where it is now. Now, when they were in school, that school wasn't right there. You know, they just built it right there on Startown.
Yeah.
But their district is West Lincoln because the Lincoln district was, now it might not be now, but their district at that time was the city limits. So anything out, they were outside the city limits. You know where that's at. So think about Zach. If you leave Lincoln in middle school,
Startown Road is quite a minute.
if you live in Lincoln in middle school,
Lincolnton.
how do you get to West Lincoln High School from that?
if you leave Lincoln Middle,
Yeah, do just
you
think
just
your
go.
head.
You just go to Startown, turn right on Reedsville Road. You could. I mean, turn right on Reedsville.
And is that not pretty much going right by Lincoln High School? So
You got to pass the
had
school to go to
drive
school.
past Lincoln High School to get to West Lincoln. West Lincoln is what 7-10 minutes out past down out that road. It's not. It's like
It ain't far.
It's not like it's 5, but it's at least about
Yeah.
10.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't far at all.
How far is it to your house?
From
West.
here?
West. No. How far is west from your house? How long did it take Gabby to get to school? Do you know?
Probably 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
You think Burns is about 5 or 7 or something like that?
Probably.
It ain't- I mean, it's
It
not
ain't far.
that
It's
much
not
of a
far.
comparable
It's. I
thing.
mean, it's. Yeah, but it's. Yeah, it's close. I mean, it's really close.
All right,
but
here's another question for you guys, and I'm gonna say specifically this guy as opposed to everybody because of his draft status is pretty much known with the Corona situation. With
I like
already,
how you said
with
that, the
already-
situation.
with already being a national champion. Is there any reason Trevor Lawrence should risk playing this
No.
season?
No.
no, and they probably got somebody in the queue that they can put in. I mean,
Still win it?
yeah, he was a freshman when he came in.
Yeah.
and they
He
had
won
good
it as a
quarter- They had a
freshman.
good quarterback,
He won it as a freshman.
so they got somebody.
So
there.
like, if
Well,
they,
what
if-
does he
especially
want?
if they say, okay, we're only play 7, 8 games,
I'll
and
say this.
then, so you're risking injury and you're risking getting Corona from a college guy who will never play in the NFL.
I'll
What if
say
you get it
this.
from a practice guy? for no reason whatsoever.
I'll
Go ahead,
say
Zach, I'm sorry.
that I don't think he should play because of the money he could lose out on his draft position. I think he should play because he needs to get developed some more. You know what I'm saying? He could be the number one pick,
He's
but look
I
how
was gonna
much.
say,
Look how much.
technically, he's only a junior.
Look how much improvement. I lost his name.
Joe Burrow.
Yes. Look how much he improved this year. I think he could astronomically improve to get ready not to be a bench
You know what his
warmer.
biggest improvement was, don't you? And I want to say this, but even though Tom's not here, he left the Ohio State quarterback room. They
Well,
They do.
look, the offense.
They've
hey,
never had a good
his
quarterback.
passing coordinator is now the offensive coordinator for the Panthers, so you better hope that works out too. Why I think Trevor Lawrence. Now I will agree with what you said, Kevin. I don't think I don't think he should play. I don't think he should. But why? But then I'll go over here and say why I think he should play as well. Though is there's no guarantee he's going to be the number one overall pick. And
Okay.
sure, he can be.
That's true. Do
It
you
dep-
have to be number
if
one,
he
or do you
wants
just
to
have
be.
to be drafted?
Now, if he wants to be, if he wants to be the number one overall pick, that's a goal for him. And then yeah, go out there and play. The only reason I'm saying that is, I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be very good. There's that kid up at Ohio State who's going to be gunning for him to be the number one quarterback taken. There will always be somebody that does play that boosts their draft stock. I'm not saying he's dropping outside of the top 5, but still, it just depends.
Put it this way.
It depends on what the NFL scouts are still wanting to see from him.
I had to finish up my lunch. I'm sorry, folks. Let's say this. If he doesn't play, Hunter, does he drop out of the top 10?
No.
If he does play and gets hurt, does he drop out of the top 10?
No.
There's a possibility. Depends on the injury.
Maybe.
If he does,
But Tua was hurt every year of his football career and still went in the top 10.
I'm
And
just-
Trevor Lawrence is better than Tua.
so if he gets corona, there's a chance that he could go lower. So what I'm saying is,
I don't know if I
Out
think
of
the
three
injury.
different
I think the
things-
injury would do more than Corona.
if he dies,
He ain't getting drafted number one.
that's what I'm saying. Hunter, just follow me for it.
Okay.
My point is, there's a 2 in 3 chance by playing that your draft stock is going to drop. Oh, let's say 3 and 4, because if he plays and plays bad, and like you just said, somebody jumps him.
Mm-hmm.
So if he plays, to me, there's 3 ways his draft could drop. If you don't play, the only reason it would drop is because they say, well, you didn't play this year. And that's it. That's the only reason.
I guess if I'm him, and like I said, I agree with you. I don't think he needs to play.
Do you not
I
think
think
Adidas
it's solidified.
Do you think Adidas would give him $50 million right now?
Oh,
yeah.
my God, yes. If I was him, I wouldn't even go to school. I'd just go to start working
And
out.
he just got engaged, if y'all didn't see.
Oh, what an idiot.
His knee wasn't down. Did
What
you
an
see
idiot.
that?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. His knee wasn't always all the way on
So
the
it don't
ground.
count?
It don't
and
count.
some-
I didn't see
and
it.
someone quoted the picture on Twitter and said he's running a fake. His knee's
Running
not
option. He
down.
run option.
He did. He
And he's
did.
running a fake. But I don't know if I'm him. I'm pretty solidified thinking I'm going to be a top 5 pick. I guess I would just take the. Oh God, are you ordering it? Are you ordering that? Teddy, for those of you that couldn't see, Zach's
Told you.
getting ready to order a Teddy
Told you
Bridgewater
it's coming
Panthers
out.
jersey. But if I was Trevor Lawrence and I had the ability to speak to maybe some pro scouts and just say, is it in? You think I'm locked in, or is there something you guys are still wanting to see from me? Think about it. He's only been there, been in that position 2 years, and yeah, he made the national championship both years. But you could say that they'll throw at him everything that I've heard Colin Cowherd throw at Joe Burrow for friggin' months. Well, is he that good, or was he a product of having NFL talent all around him?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I heard about Joe Burrow from LSU.
It's definitely.
I mean,
He left Ohio State too, didn't he?
yeah, that's why I said he got better, is because he left the Ohio State quarterback room.
So I don't know.
He learned a
Yeah.
lot more.
But I agree with you. Does he have to play? No. I still think he'll be a top 5 pick.
I still
It's just
can't
gonna be.
figure that out.
It's just gonna be. What does he think? Maybe he needs to prove more, or maybe he just wants to play. I don't know. Because this is one thing that's hard. It's hard to tell an athlete, no, you don't play. It's hard to tell them, like, if they really want to go out
If
there
I
and play.
think
It's
Adidas
hard to
gonna give
sell
me
someone.
$50 million, I'm like, yeah, I ain't coming out there.
I know.
Hey,
I couldn't do it.
look.
And that's
I
the
wouldn't
point
do
of
it.
I get
playing
it.
anyway.
That's what your goal is.
I get it.
You've already won a national
I
championship.
get it. I'm just trying to think, like, there might be reasons why he does play.
You're already a big man on campus.
Well,
you already won a
this-
national championship.
The question, Zach, was, should draft eligible prospects play if college football moves to the spring? Because that would be taken away. They're getting ready for NFL.
He
It
don't
would
have
be a
anything to
shorter.
lose.
It would be a shorter amount of
The
time.
only thing that could happen is he would lose the number 1 position. if somebody comes in like Joe Burrow and just
Or what
destroys
about a
everything.
defensive
That's
end
fine.
like
That's fine.
Chase
Yeah,
Young
that's
or
fine. I
something
mean,
like
he's
that, you
still
never
going to make bank. It don't
Right.
matter. It don't matter. He don't get hurt. It's okay.
I mean, Pat Mahomes got his contract on what, year 3 or 4? What is he, 4?
4
So I
years.
mean, you're gonna get, if you play well, you'll get the big money. I'm just saying, and I've always been the one. Anytime you can get drafted, see Terry's on the end of you don't go unless you're going to be a first rounder, and I'm like, you take whatever job you'll get paid to play basketball in or football or whatever the sport. Like to me, I don't care if I'm drafted in the second
Well,
round. or
Tom
whatever.
Brady, I'm sorry, son. You can't come out because you
Right.
wasn't a first rounder.
Right, and so he's big time.
He's
Around that
probably saying
basketball,
going
'cause
early,
when you
though,
say
but-
a high school guy, he's like, "Well, you never hear from these guys. They should go to college. That's where they make their name." And well, he was trying to make Zion like he wouldn't have had a name, and we wouldn't know who he was.
Everybody knew
If
him
he
before he
went
got
pro,
there.
like
I mean,
LeBron,
Zion was just as
Kobe
famous
Bryant
as any
didn't
other
play,
player.
and that was in the '90s, and he got drafted.
See, running backs to me, if I was draft eligible running back, I damn sure ain't playing.
Yeah, because you don't want to waste up your.
I don't want to waste carries. I'm getting tackled by people that might have corona. I'm getting, especially if you play in the spring. Like, man,
And they're gonna be a lower draft pick anyway. Unless you're Zeke, you don't get a high running back draft pick. They ain't wasting their tough stuff.
Not anymore.
you know what? I'm going to redo that on the draft as far as the running backs. I think you should draft them high because you don't have to pay them.
Well, they just get that signing bonus.
Right, because and then 5 years and 4 years when they come up with the thing, we'll just draft somebody else.
Yeah.
To me, you could almost draft a first round back, use him for 3 or 4 years, let him walk, get his $10 million somewhere else.
He's not going to do anything anywhere else because he's burned up.
Hey, guess
Get the
what else
next
I'm
one.
doing this year in the first round?
Drafting
Drafting another
another
running
one.
back in 3 years.
Look what the Raiders did with Jacobs. That boy's a good running back.
Not to mention you can get the guys in the 4th and 5th rounds, but to me, if you can get a Zeke, you can get a big name in the first round. I don't see why not. As long as you're willing not to pay them in 5 years.
Every single GM right now is scared of touching a running back because of Todd Gurley.
Well, that's the things. Is
They are scared now.
the
Atlanta took a
quarterbacks-
chance because they can get him cheap.
The quarterbacks and the running backs and those early, you get them on the early cheap contracts. That's going to make your teams.
Gurley was
Good or
hurt
bad?
since his high school years.
I
They
mean-
should have been red flag on.
Oh, he
Gurley
tore his
early.
ACL in college, and that's what
what's
got
gonna
him out of the
He tore it in
Heisman.
football in high school.
What's going to happen to Dallas when they sign Dak for 30-something million? Now you got Zeke and Dak for 50.
Eating up all your money, and
for
Amari.
50. And then
See,
you
he's
got to talk
20.
about him.
He's 20. He's
That's-
already got it.
There's 70 million between the two.
He's
the
20.
3. And that's just 3 people. And
And he's good, but
you
he's
could
not.
have 70 Andy Daltons, Hunter.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm going to twist this narrative about what if we paid
He
Dak.
could be like
It's
UNC Charlotte and have 7 quarterbacks on the roster.
So
9.
Dak, so
8,
Dak,
yeah.
so
8.
I think I heard someone today. Dak's making $29 more million this year than he did last year. Wow, I think I could do a lot with at least maybe $2 million. So I'm really happy for
At
him
least
there.
2.
At least 2, and he's getting
Can't do-
29.
Hunter can't do shit with 1
Well,
million.
Yeah, I mean, I think I need 2.
Talking about football, we looked at the ratings last week on this Madden thing, and they come out with a lot of the rest of them. I'm aggravated with them now because they give Gronk a 95. He ain't been a 95 in 4 years.
What was his last rating?
It
Wouldn't that be a
wasn't-
good question? What was it,
Yeah.
2 years ago, whatever that was?
And Teddy Bridgewater gets a 75. Cam gets a 78. So and then they poo-pooed Andy Dalton. He got a 72.
And see, that's what I burns my britches about it. I'm just saying, it
70.
burns
He
my
got a
britches.
72.
What's Prescott?
84.
Shit. They're not that.
They're not that much.
If you say Dak's better than Andy Dalton, it's by 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not 12.
I'd say they're at least.
Dak,
That close.
That's what I mean by Andy Dalton. 72.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, they
All right,
poo-pooed
so
him.
Dak Prescott has been the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys for what, 4 years now? Going on 5? How many times has he made the playoffs? Once? Twice?
He's got. Let me put it this way.
He's made the playoffs twice, only got 1 playoff win?
I got one for you, Hunter. Tim Tebow
Got
has,
this.
has the same number of playoff wins as Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott combined.
I know. That's what I know. I got
Y'all
that.
keep. Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
This world talks about quarterbacks like we know exactly what's what.
And
you got Andy Dalton out here.
Now look,
being
and when
awful.
I say
And
that,
Tebow's got the same number of playoff wins as Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott combined, and they're making $70
And it was
million
against the Steelers.
quarterback.
now stay with me here. Stay with me.
Ain't neither one of them beat the Pittsburgh Steelers,
All
have
right.
they? Ben Roethlisberger.
Andy Dalton, 9-7, 10-6, 11-5, 10-5-1, and 10-3.
5 years.
5 years,
Started his career with 5 winning seasons.
5 winning seasons.
Cam Newton
In
has
So
Cincinnati.
let's
Cam
say
Newton
this.
has 3 in his career.
I know. But let's say this. I'm not just talking about 5 winning seasons. I'm just talking about. So let's say say they don't make it that first year where they go 9-7. So he made the playoffs in his first 5 years 4 times. Do you think his roster is better than what the Cowboys have had for the past 4 years with Dak Prescott at quarterback? Which one of them technically played in the harder division? Cincinnati was playing against Pittsburgh and Baltimore. It wasn't until maybe the past 2 or 3 years that the Eagles have actually kind of started to be competent. The Giants have fallen off the wheel, and Washington has just been in the shitter for the past 20 years. So if you look at it that way, Dak Prescott's made the playoffs, let's say twice. I think it is twice in 4 years, and has 1 playoff win. Now, Andy Dalton doesn't have a playoff win. I understand that. He'd never won a playoff game. Marvin Lewis was his head coach. They just couldn't do it.
Be nice if his
But
defense would show up.
5 years, in 5 years, he made it 4 times.
Yeah, think about who's on his defense.
With a worse roster. Marvin, I don't know who you think's better at head coach, Marvin Lewis or Clap Garrett, but now Mike McCarthy's there in Dallas, so you can't really be upset about that. I'm just saying, people will give Andy Dalton so much crap.
Yeah, it was four playoff games.
Yeah. Okay.
It says it right there.
Okay, so I just don't understand it because Dak Prescott has not proved to me that he's worth $30+ million.
How long do you think before Jason Garrett is the coach
Head coach of the Giants?
Is that not going to be
He's
interesting?
offensive coordinator right now, but I've seen that offense under Jason Garrett in Dallas. Ain't much going to be changed.
Yeah.
Gronk was a 98 in 2 years ago in 2000.
Can't give him a 95. He was hurt last year. He's hurt last 2 years.
He didn't play last year.
And did he not play all
No,
year?
he retired, remember?
You can't give him 95. Then they give Stephon Gilmore, the cornerback from Patriots, a 99. I'm dead.
I think he is the best corner in football.
You can't give him a 99
Why would you not?
because that's Dion level. You're not a 99.
Okay, we had this discussion last week about that, that Madden is in a tough position. Because if you believe the mantra of bigger, faster, stronger,
Then everybody's better than the old players.
yes, Christian McCaffrey has the 99. So they either have to say, and that's tough for older folks saying, if Christian McCaffrey's get a 99, did I go over these last week, Zach? Who
Yeah, we
almost
did.
had a 99?
Yeah.
Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson, Tomlinson, Falk, and Chris Johnson. No Emmitt Smith has got a 95. And he's the all-time leading rusher. Larry Johnson didn't get a 99, but he had 2,000 yards.
I think Hunter mentioned Larry Johnson. He was really good for a short time.
Mm-hmm. So
Priest Holmes.
and so now you're giving
Priest Holmes.
now you're giving people so you give McCaffrey the 99. So what happens if he don't turn it into Barry Sanders?
Right. Does that mean you have to have a 99 every year?
What happens? Yeah, next year. What if he gets 700 yards rushing this year?
Yeah, he's going to be 85. So you're saying he's not that just shows him he's not all-time great like on that if that happens.
That's the question people have with the Madden ratings. If you're putting them at 99s, 98s, are they all-time greats or are they just the best player today? And that's something that's.
I mean, it's tough for Madden too.
I mean, they're in a bad position.
But I can't sit there. You give Saquon Barkley a 91, and then you got Gronkowski at a 95.
Is McCaffrey 8 points better than Saquon Barkley?
No, you could argue that people would take Barkley over McCaffrey. So I'd say it's 50.
You think that's just a video game thing? So because people can dump off to the running back and do whatever more often. I mean, that to me.
No, but they took into consideration is just how dangerous he is when he does get out in open space.
I love McCaffrey.
I do too. My biggest fear when they drafted him, and I said this when they drafted him. No, it wasn't that he was too small. I said this when they drafted him. They got the best playmaker in the draft. But they knew that. They knew that. But the reason why I was nervous was because I saw what Stanford did with him. And he did everything. He was punt returner. He was kick returner. He was slot receiver. He was running back. He was running the Wildcat. And that's what, to me, was like how Kevin has been saying. They get so many miles on him. Well, he wasn't just running the ball. He was doing everything at Stanford.
Why would you
now they're doing almost everything with him offensively in Carolina.
Why would you want... If you're going to give him, and that was the argument kind of with Emmett and Barry a lot of times.
If he likes it, then just keep feeding him the ball.
Well,
but
I know, and he's young and he's a running back, and that's how you wear him out.
Exactly.
But my point of it is, Hunter. See what Dallas used to do. Emmett could catch if it was an important third down, third and short, wherever he would be in there. If it's 3rd and 12, he's not. It's the backup that's in there, and not Christian McCaffrey. And it just seems like to me that you waste or put a lot of hits and stuff. Giving him the ball, especially in games, Hunter, if you're not competitive and you're not winning.
Right.
What if you have 5 years of McCaffrey doing this and you win 6-7 games every year? what did you accomplish? And to me, you can't lean on a swing pass for whatever that is. All right, let's go over to some baseball.
Baseball tomorrow. Imagine that. Why do they start? And I'm not going to complain, but why are they starting on a Thursday? That's weird, isn't it? I mean,
don't know if it is or not.
weekend baseball. I don't understand.
Ratings.
What are you competing against?
Nothing. That's
That's what I'm like. Well, I guess. I guess they think people are just going to go get thirsty Thursday and watch
I'm gonna
baseball.
pull up the schedule. We'll go over. To
Actually, that's not a
Thursdays.
bad idea. Now that I've said that, thirsty Thursday to go watch baseball. Do you like Mookie Betts signing this deal with the Dodgers?
I don't like
Because
any
it is
long-term
breaking.
deals
But
like
I mean,
that.
it's a break. Just because it's the breaking story, and we're on baseball.
I don't care.
Do you like it? 380 plus for 13 years.
That's stupid.
So they expect him to be there till 2033.
Did you just say 13 years?
13 years.
Did nobody learn anything from Albert Pujols? You can't sign somebody 10 years. You don't know what's going to happen. And that's not a football contract, Hunter, where they can cut you.
No.
They have to pay you for 13 years.
And you gotta hope that he
Stupid.
wants to be there for 13 years.
It's stupid.
You gotta hope because I
Let me put it
haven't.
this way: as a Cardinals fan, I'm glad they did.
Well,
But the thing let me bring that back. If it was football or basketball, I could laugh my ass off to the day about it because there's a salary cap.
yeah.
Without a salary cap in there in LA and in the way inflation works nowadays, that might be cheap in 10 years. I don't know.
Maybe.
But to me, just giving someone a 10-year deal is ignorant. I wouldn't go past 7, maybe even 8.
Betts has posted 4 straight seasons with at least 100 runs, 40 doubles, and 20 home runs, which is tied with Robinson Cano and Albert Pujols for the longest such streak in expansion history,
Oh, gosh. Y'all
which
ready?
began in 1961.
Y'all ready for the millionaire ball player complaint of the day?
Do it.
Just wait.
Do it.
What does it say when you say, oh, that's first world problems kind of
Yeah,
thing? You know
first
what I mean?
world, definitely first world
Or
problems.
2020 type problems or whatever they are.
Nah, they're first world problems.
Baseball had planned to do the season without ball boys and bat boys
Okay.
or girls, whatever it says. It says kids on here. So So baseball had planned to play without bat and ball kids this summer because of the pandemic. So the outfielders started complaining. Because guess what, honey?
They ain't gonna have no one to talk to.
No. They have to walk over and pick up the foul balls now themselves.
Oh!
What do you think about that, Zach? Think about Mike Trout's in right field right now complaining about his $45 million contract. I don't want to go pick up foul balls.
That's first world.
That's what it is. It's
That's
that-
first world problem.
I
Depending
think
on
for
how
every
teams-
time you strike out, you have to go pick up extra.
Depending
Yeah.
on how teams decide to handle the situation, it would lead to more activity for corner outfielders running and get the foul balls. Now, they don't have to have kids do it if they don't want to. You could just hire someone, that might want a job. Think about it. They're out here talking about free kids. Okay, let's bring the kids out for free, give them Corona, or they could just pay an adult. One in right. You need one down the right field line, one down the left side, and then you need some people in the bleachers. I guess they ain't gonna be losing. Think about how many balls they're gonna save this year on foul balls.
Because nobody's taking them home.
Yeah, that's probably 10 a game at least.
I wonder how many cardboard cutouts are just going to get absolutely obliterated when that
Those
foul
are
ball
stupid.
flies.
Those
into
are
them.
stupid.
You don't like the cardboard
I hate
cutouts?
it. That's the
I
dumbest
wish they
thing
would
in
do
the
like
world.
funny ones. I wish they would do funny ones.
Even if as they did, you can't print 40,000 of them out.
I mean, they're only
going
going
to have 10 behind.
Yeah, I know that's it. But
They just need to learn how to do the wave with them.
How about this idea? If you're going to do cutouts, former ball players of the organization.
fine, whatever.
Instead of having SpongeBob and
I love it. Though.
and some of them are putting team executive cutouts. Some teams, did you see what they're doing? They're selling them.
You can have your face
You
on
can
it.
buy a cutout, so now it's actually instead of having an
Uh,
actual season ticket.
Now, hold on. Somebody
you can have a
already.
cardboard cutout in your seat.
Somebody was already. I saw the other day. I know who it was. Dave Portnoy, obviously the president of Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
He he was watching one of the because they've been doing exhibition games right now leading up to this, and they've been televising them. Well, baseball is taking the game sound from MLB The Show and is pumping it
Have
in.
you seen what they just did?
Huh?
Wait a
But
minute.
whatever it was, Dave Portnoy
have
said this
done
is
that.
awful. He said
didn't
it's
like
awful.
it.
He didn't
I don't
like
it either. But so baseball has come up with a new thing, and I'm gonna pull it up. This is exciting. I think it could be. It's kind of stupid. I don't know. I want to hear y'all's opinion.
Oh no, he just said it was bad, and
So
I was just like,
it's tying into that.
They're not doing good on the crowd noise. Soccer does a great job with it. The crowd noise is great.
So here's what they're doing, honey. You ready?
Yes.
There's an app. Okay.
Do you have to press a button to make it hear louder?
Close. You ready? So baseball is putting out an app with their MLB app. You log into a game. Say you're at home in North Carolina, and this one's got A's and Marlins up. So I'll use that as an example. I want to watch the A's and Marlins game.
Okay.
Right? So you pull up the app, and on the app, there's a fan reaction part.
You know how many people are going to start screaming, fuck you?
Yes. Yes. So what you can do, you can hit a button that boos. You can hit a button for cheering. You can hit a button for laughing. And they also have a record option that they have to work out the details on. But basically what they're doing, Zach, is everyone who logs into this game is now part of the crowd. And that's what they'll play over the speakers, Hunter.
Whoever developed this app, though, is making millions. Because the MLB is eating this shit up right now.
So that was the question. Do you like the fake crowd noise? I think this is better than fake noise if they can figure out a better option. I don't like the fake noise. I don't like the fake fans. We all know what's going on. Why are you even – what's the point?
It's the illusion.
Does that not seem like – honestly, does that not seem like something coming from like a communist country, communist regime, or like say North Korea? This would be something North Korea would put out. They would show – hey, here's the baseball game. Look at all the people sitting in the stands, but it's cardboard cutouts. It's not real people.
Oh,
That
what
just
was
sounds
it? I
to
think
me is
it-
just wild.
Oh, there was one a baseball league or a soccer league over there. They had nothing but like sex dolls. It was so funny.
Did they really?
They had like a bunch of sex dolls. It was so funny.
Who approved that one? Come on.
Someone up in management was like, throw some clothes on them. We'll be okay.
This would also be a good
Where did
opportunity.
they find them all laying around at?
It was a mass order.
What if you're the guy that has to blow them up?
Oh, no.
Like that's your job, like.
What if they said no air compressor?
I have to look at this story if I'm not mistaken.
Oh goodness. Well, they start Thursday. Wednesday, there's some matchups today. I guess. When is opening day?
Yeah, the dolls were in the stands for FC Seoul's second game of the delayed K-League. It was a soccer team, South Korean football club over sex dolls. Oh, man.
Thursday.
Look at him. Look at him. Look how real. Oh, no, they didn't blow these up, buddy. They purchased these and had them shipped. Look. Oh, man.
Oh, those aren't. Is that like the real ones? Like mannequins?
Yes.
That's not the blow up one.
No.
Those are sex robots.
South Korean has been handed
Jeez.
they were handed an $81,000 fine after that.
Is that how much they cost them?
I don't know. There are
right.
even guy ones out there. Oh no.
Thursday is the opener. Of course, we can't, open up a baseball season without the Yankees being the team that opens it. So,
Yeah.
I won't
And
be
imagine.
watching.
Look at this. They're playing. Look at this. They're playing last year's champion Washington.
Nationals.
The Nationals.
So they got the two biggest ratings things they get, and then L.A. versus San Francisco is the late game.
The Dodgers.
Hunter, all us plebes that aren't in New York or L.A. Have to watch our games and teams otherwise.
Friday. We have to watch them another day.
So opening day, there's two games tomorrow: Yankees, Nationals, Giants, Dodgers. Friday, the Braves open up with the New York Mets at 4:00 here on WCSL 1590 AM. Toronto, I want to mention them, opens in Tampa. Toronto this week was just notified after all this time all year by the country that they would not be allowed to play home games in Canada because they didn't want Americans bringing their dirty diseases to their country.
Bastards.
So, if you're a team hunter and they in your home city or town tells you they don't want you, would this not be the first step into planning on moving next year? Mm-hmm. Would you want to come back? If the city says we don't want you to come here to play in a city with no stands, because the only people coming to the stadium is what? people from the other
Fans.
teams. It's not even fans; it's players.
Well,
Organization
other
people.
teams fan. Okay, whatever.
They're not having fans, right?
Are some? I think they said it would just come down to what states say.
Well, then obviously Toronto did not want fans.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think it comes down to like states that are saying some can be some can come like how they did NASCAR, 30% capacity.
So they're
or something like
saying, so Toronto has been kicked out of Toronto.
that. Toronto's been kicked out of Canada.
The Blue Jays have been kicked out of Canada for this year.
Their work
you would
visas were
think they-
revoked.
I cannot believe they did that after losing the Expos. Now they're going to do that. Like what type of that's got to be a political game, or don't you think, Zach? Something like
But what has Toronto brought them in recent years? The Raptors just brought them a championship. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. They're just like, you're kind of here.
That is a humongous
But Toronto's got-
city.
Toronto's got a soccer
I heard
team,
it's
too.
a beautiful, humongous city.
And that's what I don't understand either. There's Toronto FC that plays in the MLS. Like Canada ain't got no soccer league.
Are they out?
No,
Are they playing?
they're playing in Orlando.
What? Whoa, then that don't make sense at all. Well, the Blue Jays looking for a home. I tweeted out to the Blue Jays Major League Baseball, they're more than welcome to come to Charlotte and play in our AAA ballpark that's not being used. One of the brand new ones. It ain't even been used at all.
Brand spanking new.
I got another thought, another proposal. See what you think of this. But of course, they actually talked. They just had preliminary discussions, nothing serious. I'm guessing the governor told them no. He's told everybody else no that wants to have fun in this state for anything. So I'm going to go with. I said you're not going to have good luck getting here. Well, today they announced that they're going to be playing the games in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh now has 2 home teams in the same stadium.
And
now,
it's a small market.
now 2 things.
If I was Toronto, I'd change my name to the Pittsburgh Blue Jays for this
Just
year.
to piss them off?
Just to piss them off. Absolutely.
But to me, I think that's a terrible decision. Sharing a nobody else is sharing a stadium,
No.
so the Pirates shouldn't be happy about it. But like I said, we've got a AAA team in Charlotte, one of the biggest markets in America. You could easily play here, or you could play at one of the AAA teams up near you, as opposed to play.
I thought they wanted to go to Buffalo.
Right, that was one of the other thoughts. What's the point of playing in a major league stadium if you're not going to have the fans? So to me. That's just a waste. You could play any of these AAA teams. Now, here's a proposal.
Does Toronto have to pay rent?
I don't know. No, you mean the Blue Jays? Are
Yeah.
not Toronto anymore?
Sorry, they're not Toronto.
The team. Does the
Do,
team
do
have to
the
pay
Blue
rent?
Jays have to pay rent to Pittsburgh? Say, hey, we got a game here this week.
What about this? Here's a proposal for you for the Blue Jays.
They gonna run double headers if they both have to play at home?
I got a place for them to play, Hunter.
Where?
And I know they'll allow them. You don't need fans. You won't have fans unless you allow somebody. But currently, right now, Major League Baseball is building a stadium.
You talking about playing at the Field of Dreams all year?
Yes.
Toronto?
Tell me why not?
Somebody's
Well, I don't
already
know
been. They're supposed to be playing a game there.
White Sox and Cardinals will be playing there. So the St. Louis Cardinals will be playing. They built a new stadium there at the Field of Dreams for one game.
Yeah, but who won?
There's no fans, Hunter. You have to get
I
to
know
that.
there's
It
no
doesn't matter.
fans,
They
but-
can play at Cherville High School if they wanted to.
There's no fans.
There's no reason not to.
But it's
And with it
good.
being Toronto, there might not be a whole lot of people watching on TV.
So they would have a Major League Baseball field, quality field,
Yeah.
and no one else has played on it, and you don't have to share it. And then think about the ratings they would get of people watching instead of the one game at the Field of Dreams. Now we got 30 games at the Field of Dreams. Awesome. You know what it is. Toronto.
I mean, it'd be a good idea.
I mean, Blue Jays.
I don't know if Toronto would be all game for it, though.
Toronto has no say. The Blue Jays do, though.
Yeah, true. Sorry. Sorry, Toronto. You fucked that one up.
Charlotte messed it up. Well,
No,
North
well,
Carolina.
look, Charlotte-
We got to get a baseball team.
Charlotte
here.
has an opportunity now just to pluck Toronto.
They could.
Say, look,
Exactly.
you have an opportunity. Say, look, man, whoever your owner is, get the hell out of Dodge. They don't even want you there.
I mean, they could have done that right now.
They're letting their soccer team come down to Orlando, and then we'll travel back. They're playing. I mean,
Honestly, can't believe Portland didn't put in a bid for them, considering they're one of the top teams for a baseball team. They got a good AAA team there.
Portland, Oregon's got a lot of other shit they're trying to worry
that's
about
true
right
too.
now.
They can't do nothing, can they?
They're fucking wild out there right now.
Royals.
Did you read that story?
Royals at Indians? It's a
That's a shit show.
You're right. Royals at Indians. Orioles at Red Sox. Cardinals open up with the Pirates.
Wait,
at
Royals
home.
and Indians game 1 is Friday. Mm-hmm. It looks like we got something to talk about Saturday morning.
Yes, we
between
do.
Pitt and Tom and Terry against each other.
The Braves will open up with the Mets. Cardinals host the Pirates in St. Louis. But I mean, now Toronto's going to have to is their schedule going to match up with Pittsburgh's? Like, I don't make
that's
any
what
sense
that's
to
what
me.
I mean when
Like,
I
how do they
say
get
like,
that? How
are they
do
gonna
that?
are they if there's a double? Is it gonna be a double header if they both have home games because they have to play at both in the same stadium?
I don't know what they're going.
Like I don't understand. Or is there going to have to be one
gonna be-
huge flip flop? It's just
I
a
still-
clusterfuck.
I still say NASCAR has had the best chance to make this happen with this because of the way they're set up, and baseball can do a good job with it. Let's just see if they do.
I think
They
baseball
like to
is.
flub stuff up
I
a
think
lot.
baseball is still going to do a good job with it. Just this threw a damn monkey wrench in everything with Toronto having to basically leave their own country.
Well, they haven't leave their own country, and I mean you're gonna have two teams. I mean,
What's it called when they got deported?
They got deported. Their work visa got revoked. They had to come back to stateside. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And you know what I will never understand either is this damn country's fascination with the fucking Yankees. I'm sitting here watching this video about the Dodgers, and the next thing they do is almost like a hype video for this year's Yankees team. The Yankees ain't been relevant really in the last 10 to 15 years. They've been good. They've just now started to get good maybe the last 3 or 4 years. Other than that, they ain't done shit. When was the last Yankees World Series win? Last Yankees World Series. Wow, that's the first thing that pops up. 2009. Dude, it's been 11 years. I don't understand people's fascination with the Yankees. What, just because... And I think that's what's the problem is with the Yankees. So many people are so fascinated with them, they keep giving the Yankees all this money so they can keep buying people. They just keep buying their wins, buying their championships. Well, it's been 11 years. Maybe you can do it this year. Do you see that's been the World Series favorite right now? It's the Yankees versus the Dodgers. Oh, imagine that. Two of the largest bank accounts in Major League Baseball. That's why this damn sport needs a cap. It needs a cap. Whether the players like to hear that or not, I'm not anti-capitalism because, guys, look in the mirror. You're still going to be making fucking millions, okay? I don't want to hear that. I'm just saying a cap gives teams like Terry's Royals an opportunity. It gives teams like the Baltimore Orioles an opportunity. Granted, it comes down to the talent you can get, and it comes down to how you develop in your minor league system. Comes down to your manager and coaching staff as well. But if you're the team and you can always buy the best player in the league, why should anybody else try? And I know that that hasn't always equivalated to wins, but it has for the most part. They still have 26 World Series.
And they don't always get you the best player. I mean, Griffey was refusing to go to the Yankees. I got to look up and see exactly why he did that.
Damn, it didn't stop Garrett Cole. Didn't stop Garrett Cole from going and getting his money.
Yeah.
Lost the World Series and said, that's okay, guys. I'm getting ready to go get mega paid. That's what he did. I just don't understand it. Do you think Atlanta has got a strong opportunity this year, Zach, with there only being 60 games, because they are so young, to make some noise when it comes playoff time?
I think we was going to have a good team either way. I think we got as good a shot as anybody to win the championship, and we'll see how it goes. I was disappointed to see Puig.
I was disappointed in that too. I think we talked about that Monday. I don't understand.
Just let him go through the protocol.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, what? Why would that negate you not signing him? Like, you don't have to put him around the team. Let him get completely healthy, and then go with that.
Puig could have done his 2 weeks quarantine, and imagine this. You know, we just saw it with Jimmy Johnson. What if it was like a false positive?
Right.
You didn't sign a bat for hire because of the opportunity of a false positive. And not only that, so he tested positive, last week? 2 weeks? So what, he misses like the first 3 or 4 games of the season. That's about it.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
I think
Somebody else going to grab him.
Someone's going to grab him, and I'm not saying he's going to be the X factor for anybody.
But I would like to have him on the Braves.
Absolutely. I would have loved to have had him in the lineup.
So, yep. I'm good with the 60-game sprint. I think we'll have a good team.
I think we will too. I think Atlanta will be competitive. Some people could say technically the 60-game sprint would almost help veteran teams because they're not going to get as tired.
So 60 games, I think the best WAR last year was 10, something like that. It was usually around the best.
Had to be Mike Trout, right?
So, I don't. Yeah. Actually, he didn't have the best. It was let's say Trout gets 4 WAR this year. So in 60 games, he gets 4 WAR 100. They go 20-40. Are they still going to name him the MVP
Yeah.
after 60 games based on his WAR?
Yes.
And they go 20-40.
They still will. They still will. Write it down. Take a picture. The American League MVP is going to be Mike Trout.
They could have 20 wins.
If he plays. I still haven't read anywhere that says he's 100% playing. I mean, it's kind of dumb for me to think that he's not playing at this point, because if he announced he wasn't playing, that'd be the headline all over ESPN. So
yeah. But then again, I mean, I'll put it this way. Of all the people who could afford not to play, he's one of them.
yeah.
Yes, he's losing 10, 15 million, but he's going to get 40 next year.
Yeah, $40 million next year. His
the
wife's
next after that,
about to
next
have a
after
baby.
that.
I think
They still get paid, though, if they don't play this year, too, right? Can't they? Don't they have an opt-out clause? I think they do.
Yes.
I'm wondering if
I think there is an opt-out clause, or else players wouldn't be opting out
Right.
if they didn't want to get their money.
Right.
I'm wondering if there's going to be an interesting rotation, pitching rotation, because
Oh, it'll be different.
I wonder if it's going to be a lot shorter. Because
I
you don't
would
want to
run-
lose. You're going to be throwing your guy out
I
because
would-
you
I
ain't
would
got
run-
100.
Shit, I'd
Do you
run
want?
four.
So you're saying do you want to throw your fifth starters? What you're at?
I would
Exactly
say
what
I'd
I'm
run.
asking.
That's a good idea.
I'm telling you, I'd run.
I'm thinking you run 5. Now they're going to be running 3. It's going to be like old school.
I'm telling you,
Watch.
I was saying,
Telling
I
you,
would
it's
say
coming.
3 or 4.
Okay.
My rotation would be 3 or 4. If I knew that I had to have my ace on the mound as much
If I
as
got
possible
3
for a
studs and 2
sprint,
suckies, I'm going 3 aces.
Well, let me ask you something. This has been a hypothetical. Some teams have tried an idea over the years. Let's say besides your ace, let's say you don't want to do it to your ace, you're number 2, okay? But 3, 4, and 5 pitchers. What if you started your closer or your setup man instead? First inning, throwing 100 and 100 something to the best hitters. Then you bring in your starter to go 7, 8 innings or 5, 6 innings. Because
wasn't
the
there
idea
a team that was doing that?
there was a team that tried that. I can't remember who it was. It might have been the
don't-
Rays.
I can't remember. I was to say
But-
there's a team that tried that, and I
But
don't
think-
remember
let's
who.
think- let's just think for the Rays example. Would it have been better for the Rays to start Smoltz when they had the 3rd and 4th, 5th starter out there to have him throw the first inning against the best hitters and then bring in your starter? He's been warming up all day. What does it matter if he starts in the first inning or the second inning? You know? Who cares?
I think the starters argument would how do they declare the winning? How do they declare the wins on that?
The wins is after he throws one in, he won't qualify for the win if he throws the first inning.
Yeah.
Starters you have to get to the 5th, I think, to be qualified for a win as a starter. And then after that, it's just based on runs and the earned runs, who was up when it happened. Like, so if you win 5-3, whoever gave up the 3rd or 4th run, however, that's how they do it. So
I'll tell you what, though. Atlanta's pitching core is young and
They're
good.
fixing to start a stud that's young.
Freed, Soroka is really good. Yeah, they're gonna have a new. I can't remember the new guy, and we signed Cole Hamels. He's a pitcher for hire for us this year.
and even if you wanted to have a bullpen game here and there, and just play the bullpen game, I don't understand. They complain about guys throwing back-to-back days. I'm like, you threw one pitch, one batter, 1 inning, dude.
I hate when they complain about back-to-backs. Like, dude, you threw back-to-back. So what? You're about to have 15 days off. You're going to go play golf every day. I don't care.
Like, you could easily throw a different pitcher every inning.
You could.
If you got a 13, 14-man rotation, you don't even
Think
have to
about
start
it.
a starter one.
It's not like high school. Ain't no pitch count. It's you can't be pitching a certain amount during a week.
No.
I've seen a World Series where Madison Bumgarner pitched a whole game the game before and came in relief in the next game just so they could secure the World Series win.
I was sitting on a rooftop in Charlotte during that game watching it on a giant projection screen. That was a pretty cool baseball watching experience.
Or if he had
I'll say.
rodeo in his mind when he was finishing that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was named the MVP and they gave him a truck, and I'm pretty sure he gave it to one of his teammates because he didn't fucking need one.
I've got 12 of these.
He's like, I don't need this. It was like a Chevrolet.
Here are your worldwide leader picks to win some stuff. American League East, Yankees are picked to win the East.
Imagine.
Twins in the Central with 24 votes to the Indians 5. AL West, Astros 17 votes, A's 11. Yeah, Angels got 4 picks.
They ain't doing nothing.
I picked the Angels to win the AL West not only because of Houston's loss of Garrett Cole to the Yankees, but also because the Angels added Rendon and Shohei Ohtani back in action. Their pitching is suspect.
Well, then they ain't fucking winning. I hate to tell you that, buddy.
But
If you
anything
can't
can happen in
pitch-
a 60-game season. And here's the last 5 words, Hunter. You ready? Especially when you have Mike Trout.
Oh, my.
He's never won a playoff game in 9 years in his career.
He's only made.
And this dude went in public and said anything can happen when you have Mike Trout.
He only,
lose.
And he only has, what,
Lose.
one postseason appearance?
Yeah.
He's only made the
They
playoffs
didn't win a
once.
game. They got swept.
And that's what I don't understand. Is like,
He's
what,
not
just-
helped his team do
just bec-
nothing in his career.
So what?
Nothing.
You think
Nothing.
it's going to change just because we took 100 games away?
Now all of a sudden the Angels are going to out-hit everybody for 40 games.
Blows my mind. That blows my mind because that statement would make sense in basketball because it's so it can be one man centric.
I think it's going to be tough.
You
on
can't
the
be
hitters.
one man. You can't be one man centric in the NBA or in the MLB. They don't even talk about, well, if you have Tom Brady, you can do it. Well, just because you have Tom Brady doesn't mean you're going to be able to do it.
As a pitcher, to me, you can almost be on top of your game ready when the season starts. I mean, you're working on your releases. I mean, all you're doing is pitching to a catcher and warming up and all this. And you've been pitching to batters in practice. To me, the batters are going to be the ones
They're not
that,
gonna be
that will
seeing
be
that stuff.
behind because
They ain't seen live pitching in
right.
so long.
And also, Hunter, which is more likely, a pitcher to go into like a slump or a batter to go into a
batter.
slump?
A batter's
And
going
you
to go
got
into a
9
slump.
batters in a lineup.
That batter sees as much as they do right now. He sees one strikeout. It's going to be in his mind. It's
What
going to
if
be
you,
in his
what if
mind.
you have a 20-game streak where you hit 100, 130 or something? Like people do that all the time. Like hitting a baseball is very hard.
Can you imagine what we're going to see batting average wise for this year?
Now I think people are going to crush some of the guys who suck. Like they'll crush them, but the aces and stuff, I think they're going to.
I think
just saying-
they're going to see a lot more quality pitching. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Less-
well, they'll
smaller-
have to because
smaller
if
rotation.
smaller
It's
rotation,
telling you.
absolutely, yeah.
Only 60
Plus, them
games. You
guys
got
are
to
throwing
win
heat
today.
now.
I mean, the
Lose.
Dodgers came out and said opening day we're pitching Kershaw, and then I would look at the Dodgers and say, well, you're pitching him in another 3 days,
Yeah.
so hey, or another 3 games.
This is
Do it.
this is a similar version that the NBA is doing. They got a 20 game whatever it is sprint to win. Same thing with
Essentially.
MLB. They got throw your best out there and let's see who's going to win it.
Yeah, but what's so crazy about the NBA is it's
I don't
only
want to.
8.
I don't want to get
It's
knocked
8
out
in a
by
playoff.
one game if I'm throwing my 5th best pitcher. You know, if you lose by 1 game or half a game back, really?
So the Angels got 4 votes to win the division, and then the same folks voted for the wild card teams, and the Angels
Okay.
only got 3 votes to make the wild card.
I'm telling you, I mean,
Let's
people
stay
aren't,
consistent, fellas.
yeah, people aren't that stupid.
Braves picked to win the East.
I'm not
Nationals in
surprised.
second, 16-10.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised
Nationals
at all.
got a good. Yeah, Nationals got a good team.
The Nationals, yeah, I think the Rendon loss really hurts them. He was really a heart of their team. Soto, though, is going to be a stud. That young player for them that was just absolutely hammering the ball in the World Series last year.
Albert Pujols is the best right-handed hitter I've ever seen, and to me, and they won a World Series without him, all because of that catcher back there. So Rendon leaving, like we talk these big bats all the time: Betts, Trout, Rendon, Barry Bonds,
Rendon wasn't a big bat, though. He's contact hitter.
Perry Bonds, Ted Williams, and King Griffey Jr. have a combined 0 World Series. Like the outfielders, you can have these big bats as good as you want. To me, it doesn't impress me. It'll
What
help
was
your team.
Rendon was a third baseman.
Your catcher is basically your middle linebacker for football.
Yeah,
Same.
running
He's
everything.
got to kind of run. Yeah, he's got the eye on everything. He's
The
got to know what's going on with where he's calling shots.
The fact, and just on Molina, the fact when he starts, the team ERA as a whole run less. It's like 3.1 when he starts, 4.1 when he doesn't. So, and his career, they've only had 1 losing season, and they won 79 games. They only missed by 2 games.
I think.
So,
I think.
hold on, Hunter.
Yeah.
So to me, looking in St. Louis, if you're not picking them to make the playoffs at all, it's insane with Yachty there.
And they didn't.
I'm not saying they ain't going to win. I'm not going to say they're going to win it. But damn, look at these picks, Hunter. What place are they in?
They have them in last.
Yeah. Well, not last. They got the Pirates in last. They didn't even get any votes.
Oh well. Out of the 4 that
Reds
they've got,
with 14 votes. Fuck if I know the Reds. What'd they do last year?
they still got damn friggin' what is it?
Have they done anything since
They got-
Pete Rose?
No, they still have Trevor Bauer, who
right,
wants participation trophies.
Let me read
There's
the
no way
next-
they win.
God, he's on their team.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer's
we're
pitcher
winning
for the
that.
Cincinnati Reds.
So here's some 2 notes. Why did you pick the Nationals? Fangraphs has the Nats odds with the Braves to win the division as a coin flip. And this lady said, that's where I landed. I'm leaning towards the rotational power of the Nats. But the Braves do have a little more youth and upside. All right.
I think Rendon's a big loss for the Nationals. He was batting .319 last year, 174 hits, like
Wasn't this National
126 RBIs.
Wasn't the National League Central the best records overall last year? Didn't
It
we
was
talk
the
about that?
tightest.
The Reds last year, that's what it was. They
had the best run differential, but they had a
losing
shit record. Yeah.
Here's what it is. Last year, let me pull. Oh crap, that's this year's spring training. Yeah, that's what we want. Give me 2019. All right, here's your standings from last year in the Central. The Reds finished 4th place, Hunter, 12 games under 500, 16 games out of first, and they got the majority of the votes for first place by the worldwide leader. I don't know what they're doing. St. Louis won it last year, of course, again. This isn't hard. Brewers, Cubs, Reds, and Pirates in that order. 3 of the teams were over 500. The East had 3 teams over 500, and the Phillies finished 500, so they did better over there. Central appears to be the most wide open. When in doubt, default to the starting pitching. So the Reds should have the class of the division with Castillo, Gray, Bauer, Miley, and DeSclafani. Add in the new power sources of Moustakas and Castellanos, and the Reds lineup should be improved as well. Good luck, Cincinnati. Out west, everyone picked the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Not one other choice, Hunter. Is anyone else can win that?
Arizona? I think Arizona's just as competitive.
It says the Padres are a cheek peak, but I'll go with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Who've
they
had a
Diamondbacks.
defensive team,
And they just added Mad Bum.
added Madison Bumgarner to pair with Robbie
They don't
Ray,
get
Gavin
they don't
Weaver,
get the ratings
and
though
Kelly.
that
Oh no, they don't.
pulling the Dodgers in on something like that. They're getting Yankee. You're getting Yankee
Christ.
ratings.
So the Reds got all these first place votes. So of course they got fewer wild cards. So they got the lowest wild card votes. Cardinals only got 5 wild cards, but the disrespect for the St. Louis Cardinals on this is just outstanding to me. The division champions, returning division champions, and everybody's back. It's just stupid. AL and NL champions, they picked the Yankees to play the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Somebody picked the Braves. This is what they said, Hunter. I keep forgetting Zach, you're a Braves fan too.
Yep.
If you have any doubts about the incredible talent of Ronald Acuna, before last season, his 2019 campaign promptly silenced doubters. Between Acuna and Albies, the Braves possess one of the best talent cores in the league. Tosses in the emergence of Soraka and the signing of Ozuna, and the Braves brings a team with offensive depth, and that's without including star first baseman Freddie Freeman, one of the high-profile players to test positive for corona. Atlanta lost Donaldson to free agency, but brings back much more to the core that had 97 wins last season. It'll need a healthy Freeman to make a run in the World Series, but the talent Atlanta brings to the table is among the best in the National League. And
I agree.
And then
And we don't even have the big money Mike Trout on our team.
And some of them picked somebody picked the Reds to win the National League. How do you pick a 4th place team to win the whole league? No, none of the other divisions are like that.
I don't know.
I don't see what the deal is with this red stuff. But the Dodgers and Yankees are the ones matched up to match up. Hunter, who do you got winning that?
Which one?
If it's Dodgers and Yankees. If you're the Braves, who do you want? Who do you want in the World Series?
Who do we want?
I mean, just to play. I don't know.
I'd like to watch us play the
Who'd
Dodgers.
you like to play? You can't play the Dodgers in the World Series, Dodo.
Oh yeah, you can't.
I
They're
don't.
throwing all the
I'll
pool
be
together
honest.
though this year.
I'll be
They're
honest.
not doing that.
No.
They're still playing like the
Divisions.
yeah.
AL versus NL.
They're still
Who'd you
doing
like to
that.
see 'em
I
beat?
thought they
'Cause
were
you-
getting rid of all that.
I would
No, you
love
don't
to
want-
see him beat the Yankees. I think it would be fantastic if small. And this
Yeah,
is I'm gonna do
I
this.
hate the Yankees.
Small market Atlanta, top 10 market in the United States. Small market Atlanta beats the Yankees. I'd love it. I'd love to see him beat Houston. I think the matchup that they would do better against would be Houston, as if Houston made it to the World Series. Because I think Garrett Cole and that pitching staff is a little bit deeper of the Yankees than the Atlanta Braves is.
One of the guys for Houston got beamed twice last night.
They
Imagine that.
they beamed them back to back. Jose Altuve and Bregman both got beamed.
Imagine that back to back. I wouldn't want to go up there again.
Acuna got the most votes for National League MVP preseason with 9, Betts 6, Yelich 5, and Harper 4, Soto 4 as well. American League, Trout got all the votes.
Listen to this. Listen to this. This was
Quit.
this was
I
tweeted.
quit.
This
Is
was
that on ESPN?
what is
Yeah.
it? This was
quit.
tweeted an hour ago by SportsCenter. Mookie Betts and Mike Trout have signed for a combined $806.5 million.
And neither one of them's going to see a World Series.
The Panthers originally were bought for $250 or
That's
$150.
just ridiculous. I mean,
That's stupid, isn't it? What do they need that for?
I'm old enough to, and Kevin is too, to remember when the A-Rod deal hit, and it was just astronomical. I think it was Texas, wasn't it?
Was it
Texas
250?
Rangers. Oh, it was
10 years,
10 years.
250?
That was just astronomical money, and you
They're
knew it was
getting-
going to only get.
They're getting double that. They're getting double A-Rod
And
money.
you still got old Bobby Bonilla sitting there just making bank.
Dude has never won a playoff game in his 9-year career and is getting double A-Rod money.
He's getting more than the Braves starting
Eight. You got Trout makes as much as
seven players.
7 of the 8 Braves regular starters combined. So you take off Freddie Freeman off that, and he makes the same
I
as the
would
rest of
never
the team.
want to sign unless all I want to do is make money. If I want to win, I would never sign the Mookie Betts deal. I'm talking about as an owner.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts deal or the Trout deal. I would continue to try to build like you got your young talent. I mean, but you know, you got your Yankees and your Dodgers. There's no cap. They just keep throwing money. That's just ridiculous.
That is, it's just tough on some teams. Like if you can pay, like you said, the Angels, and that's why Pujols is out there anyway, because his wife wanted $30 million. He turned down 10 years. It was like they offered him like 10 years, $230 million, and the Angels gave him 10 years, $260 million. It was only $3 million a year off.
And he's never going to play that whole full thing.
And
He might have,
his
but
wife
usually-
called it insulting from the Cardinals that they offered.
And what they didn't look at was this is the Angels that's got all this money, and this is a smaller market team. They should have looked at it and just said, you know what, maybe they wanted to go to L.A.
Happy wife, happy life too. You never know about that part. To me, I don't think Albert wanted to leave. I mean, they had a foundation. They've got special needs kids, and he's really involved now. He's still got his foundation in St. Louis because of that. Because he didn't want to leave those kids, and to me that was to think as an insult. If you want to say we're not going to give you $30 million, look at it that way. But damn, we're giving you $230. And if he would have stayed in St. Louis, Zach, would they not already be casting his statue right now? Yeah. He still might get one out there. Yeah.
It won't.
They've
be
got a lot
near.
They've got a lot of little ones. They've got a giant Stan Musial.
Yeah,
and then everybody else is mid size. Everybody else is about a regular person size. Stan Musial is a giant. If Pujols stays, I think he's standing there next to Musial in front of the stadium as a giant statue. But now, no, they'll put him. You don't leave the team over $3 million a year. $3 million a year. That's you can get a catcher or something for it, outfielder, something. Hunter.
Yeah, some sort of help.
All right, let's switch over to NBA real quick. It's starting back up very soon as well. Is that next weekend?
There's actually some sort of game on today. I guess
they've
it's
got
exhibition games.
Is it Lakers Mavericks?
I can't quite remember what they showed.
Lakers Mavs scrimmage is supposed to be broadcast.
I think they're the one this is the one that's going to be interesting to watch because they're the one that's going to be more apt to pull something if they hadn't been. I think
that
get hurt. That's what I'm saying.
This is the one that's going to be more. I think you'll get more people. Well, the biggest threat, according to the internet for the NBA bubble, is the side chicks.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's the biggest thing. But let's say one guy does get with a side chick and he gets it. To me, you're going to pass this virus along on a basketball court way quicker than any of these other sports. You're standing out there sweating and breathing on each other. You are rubbing on each other and breathing on each other's neck. When I'm standing next to someone guarding them, waiting on the ball to inbound, we're breathing on each other.
I think it's
we're
the
covered
first
in
time
sweat.
This conversation has came up about close contact in basketball since Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
because everybody was scared to death to get on the basketball, and they didn't know they had every right to be. And
then he ended up playing it. So Magic Johnson could play with AIDS, and you can play with AIDS, but this we're having a bubble.
So the first scrimmage today is of Orlando and the Clippers.
And
the first scrimmage.
I was looking at some of the teams today on ESPN before I came, and I still laugh about the Nets. The team that they're fielding to go down there, it's like a farm league. They signed Jamal Crawford.
Oh no,
Is
it's
he
free
like 45?
agents. He's 40.
Yeah.
He's 40. It's a free agent team. That's what it is.
Projected starters for the New Jersey Nets.
I
Brooklyn
couldn't
Nets.
even name half of them.
Chris Chioza,
Never heard of him.
Karis LeVert.
Never heard of him.
I've heard of him. He's
I've
pretty
heard
good.
of Laverne and Shirley.
I've heard of Karis. Look, Karis
Laverne and
LeVert.
Shirley.
Karis LeVert dropped a 50-point game this year, so he's pretty good.
Okay.
Joe Harris.
I've heard of that name.
He's a 3-point shooter, so he's good.
I know Joe Harris. He was Rodions
I've never heard of that.
Crooks, and Jarrett Allen.
Jared Allen.
I have heard of that.
Got the big old. He's the guy that they have. Has got the big, huge fro.
Coming off the bench is Garrett Temple. Is that Lance Thomas of Duke?
Hell, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Timothy Luwawu Cabot.
I'm telling you, I ain't never heard these people before in my life.
The Hornets have a way better chance of winning games.
I'm
than
telling
the
you, we
Jets
might not.
do.
We need to get to playing on
The
that.
rest of the bench is Dante Hall. I thought he was a football player.
Yeah.
Jamal Crawford, Justin Anderson, Tyler Johnson, Jeremiah Martin,
I've never heard of these
and
people.
Dizan Musa.
I've never heard of these people.
Jamal Crawford go out there and still school everybody.
The Jamal Crawford is going to be like averaging 50 for this team because nobody else can score.
Now, Karis LeVert can score. What hurts them is the fact that Dinwiddie is out.
And Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
And DeAndre Jordan.
I'm just saying, but we knew Kyrie and Kevin were going to be out.
That
I'm
was-
just saying for them to maybe
Why
have
would they
stolen
not
a game.
come in and have it? They could just steal the whole thing.
Yeah, they could.
They could, man. I mean, you know Durant's better. You know he's better. It's been a year. And
Yeah, but
3
here's
months.
the thing: Durant has learned from after the
He's only got beat one
episode
team.
of Golden State.
Gotta be. Yeah.
He always got
This
beat
is
one.
I always gotta beat
Alabama.
Milwaukee.
I gotta play one time. Yeah, I gotta get in. Just gotta play in.
I'm just saying, Kevin Durant has learned after maybe he was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't have come back in and played.
That
If
is
they-
Lance Thomas of Duke.
if they make it, in, do they?
I did not know he was in the NBA.
What
I
if
didn't.
what if the scrubs, under some miraculous way, get them in,
Right.
and
In
then all
their
the stars
schedule.
want to come back and play?
Yeah,
Oh man, that's gonna be like.
I think they have to set their rosters. I think I do think that's a set thing.
Then they're gonna be like, oh, where have you been? You haven't been in the bubble. You're gonna fly down here now, and then it's gonna ruin the bubble.
Well,
Lance
the bird
Thomas.
was gonna get busted.
By the side chicks.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. They haven't
I mean, like one of
reported.
them bubblicious things when you blow a big
They
bubble
haven't
and it pops.
reported it, but it probably already been blocked.
Do you remember
Yeah.
when you blew a big bubble when you was a kid and it popped all over your face?
Yeah.
This is what's
This
going
is
to
it.
happen.
Speaking of, all right. Speaking of side chicks, Zach, I watched last night, and this will give you the creeps when I say it out loud. Jim Cornette and Hacksaw Jim Duggan talking about the ladies back in the day. Just that the picture in your mind has to be awful.
Jim Duggan's moniker that he always come out with, first thing everybody identifies him with, holding the 2x4 up in his word.
Oh, is that what he was calling? Apparently, he was a ladies' man. He said every hotel they went to, they was lined up in his hallway, and they were telling stories. Jim Cornette and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That's pure comedy.
That's pure comedy.
All right, Hunter.
Yes.
Let's go down Celtics. We all know what's up with them. Dallas Mavericks. Current 7 in the seed. Strength of schedule is 9th.
Ninth easiest or ninth hardest?
I think like they got the Lakers ranked.
It's
at third, but I
ninth.
think it's the hardest.
It's just ninth.
Don't put me on the spot. I don't
No,
know.
I know.
Like it says, the
don't
Lakers
know.
had the third, like strength of schedule third. I think that means toughest.
Is that what that is?
What do you think?
Yeah, because like in football, they do strength of schedule. If you got one, you got the toughest schedule.
Okay.
That's just what I think.
That-
You
that's
would,
wrong. That's
you would
fine with
think
me.
they would tell me whether it was toughest or easiest.
I'm just too good with that.
The only thing I do know is that apparently the Pelicans have the easiest schedule. So they're trying to get Zion in. I've been telling you, I told you exactly what it was when they said the Pelicans were going to be a
Milwaukee
part of this.
has a tough schedule. Milwaukee's only, they
right.
got a tough road.
So I'm in Dallas.
I think,
right?
I'm going to be honest, I think I want to pick Milwaukee to come out of the East because I'd like to see Giannis win it, but I think they're screwed.
So I'm in Dallas right now.
I don't think someone's going to help Giannis. I don't think he'll have enough help.
I'm gonna get to these teams in a little bit if y'all be patient.
Okay, fine.
I'm in Dallas right
Damn
now.
it.
I need to switch the camera in. We've been on that
Just
one for a
go.
while. I mean,
Are we hitting? You better make sure we're
yeah,
hitting
we
before
are.
we start.
Oh, you talking about this?
Switching shit.
Talk.
Okay. Woo.
I hate that it's at the bottom. I do.
I do
People have
too.
no idea what we're talking.
Yeah,
All right,
they don't.
Dallas Mavericks. Let's see: Houston, Phoenix, Sacramento, L.A., Milwaukee, Utah, Portland, and Phoenix. They're favored in 5 of those 7 games. No, 6 of the 8 games.
Who's favored?
Dallas. Is favored in 6 of the last 8 games. Here's our starting lineup. Is this better than Brooklyn's? Luka Doncic.
Yes.
Seth Curry.
Yes.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Oh yes.
Dorian Finney-Smith.
I don't know
Saw
who
that
is.
one earlier.
And Kristaps Porzingis.
I saw
Yes.
that lineup earlier, and I said that's dangerous to me.
Off the bench, Boban, DeLon Wright, Kleber, Justin Jackson. Hey, the LeBron killer's on that team still. He's still playing.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Barea is still on the team. Now, this might bring him down. But the news was, I don't know if he's going to play. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is on the team.
No.
Oh no.
They don't want him shooting at all. Likely playoff seeding, 51%, number 7. They got a 25% chance to get to number 6. I'm going to get back to my favorites in a little bit. One of the teams I'm going to pull for is the Houston Rockets. I've never been a Harden fan. I'm not that big of a Westbrook fan, but the way Daryl Morey has handled stuff down there, especially with the free Hong Kong stuff, and he's willing to stand up for people that the rest of the league is not
Did
willing
you
to
see
stand up.
the exchange between Ted Cruz and Mark Cuban?
I saw that one. That's why I'm probably not going to pull for the Mavericks on this one for some of that. The big one is Hunter is that I can't remember. I think it's Hawley. Senator Hawley has been tweeting at the NBA, Nike, LeBron, Cuban, and all these folks. He's tagging them, and he's daring them to say "Free Hong
For
Kong."
Hong Kong.
And if you don't know, folks, that the NBA makes more than half their money from China, so they will not say anything disparagingly towards them. So even on you could get Zach, a few weeks ago.
Well, wait a minute. So you're saying they make most of their revenue off of China.
Yes.
I really want to know, like, if their percentage of revenue, really how much are they making off of the United States? Because the NBA is global now. Like, it's huge.
Right, they're
global.
making more.
I feel like they'd be making more off of China than they're probably making off of the U.S.
They are. That's what I'm saying.
Whew.
So that's why they're not. That's why they don't want to go down this road.
Imagine.
That's why these billionaires don't want to go down this road. And these millionaires, and so he's daring them to. He's hashtag calling. He's not saying say free Hong. Cruz wanted them to say free Hong Kong. I got that backwards. The other senator is trying to get them to guarantee / pledge that their products, and he tagged Tim Cook to an Apple, that their products are produced slave free.
Yeah.
So that's the hashtag. So he's asking them to do that, and
Not use sweatshops.
and they're not yet. That's what he's asking them to do. And so, and then another, talking about the messages on the jerseys and the courts and everything in the NBA, on the store, and they now here's what happened on the store. So when they said you could put whatever message you want, people were going on and entering them on there, seeing what they could add. Zach, at one point you could put "F the police" and order an NBA jersey, Charlotte Hornets jersey, whatever, with that on it. And then, but what you couldn't put was "Free Hong Kong." It would say you could put "Free Hong Kong" and any letter in the alphabet but the G, and if you put the G, it wouldn't let you buy it. And so what they did after feedback, you know what they did? They took all the customization off. Instead of allowing that one thing,
you could say
they
free Hong
took
Kong.
all of it off. So, they're in a weird spot, and these
Would you
billionaires
see
don't want
that,
to lose their money.
You see that football is following basketball's rule or idea, letting them put names of people that have
Right.
suffered from police brutality and whatnot
We're
on
going to
the
get to
helmets.
that in a little bit. So we'll go. Let's just mention that real quick before I clean on. So what Hunter's talking about is the NFL's allowing you to put
Decals.
So basically, the only thing they've come out and said that you're allowed to put is victims of police shootings.
Right.
So the NFL is allowing the players to put people's names right now. Currently, the people's names of people who's been shot by police. Not if you've been like Jason Witten was 3 or 4 years ago. Tried to put the Dallas. They want to put Dallas DBP or something, just a sticker on their helmet to support the 5 police officers that were murdered. And they wouldn't let them. They said, we don't do political activism on our helmets. So now if they are allowing that, Hunter, and I was watching Marcellus Wiley yesterday and what, them talking about it and everything. And are you going to cut off certain messages? Are you going to allow all messages? Are you going to allow free Hong Kong on an NFL message? Are you going to allow, all lives matter or anything else you want to put on the message? Are all messages going to be allowed?
Right.
And if not, then it's not a open message. It's a controlled message. So that's the argument that a lot of these people are having on these. And most sports fans, Zach, and myself, to me, especially, they make the argument that that's their platform. They should be able to express themselves that way.
Right.
But most people in other jobs don't do that.
We don't. Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. And then two things, people are turning in not for political reasons. There's plenty of political channels on TV to watch. Then three, they're talking about their platform. They've got more followers on Instagram and Twitter than they do watching the games. So what platform? I think they're in today's society.
I think
they can get online and do whatever they want.
I'm definitely
as much
okay.
as they
Like
want.
when people say it's their platform, they can do what they want. What I think is,
I don't think they should have any of it because like I
listen.
said,
Here's
we're
the
here to watch
thing. I will
football.
say.
We're here to watch basketball.
I will say. I don't think they should have any of it if it's controlled. If it's
I think they should have any of it
if
at
it's
all.
only you can put certain things on it. I think you should be able to put whatever
But
you want.
after the game, you get to interview.
You can say whatever you, want.
You get to tweet. You get to
Right.
you could do. You
You're
get all
right.
these websites. You get all these people. You can talk to all the reporters. If after the game that's all you ever want to talk about, that's fine. But during the games, man,
I mean, that's what Tobias Harris did this week. He was literally for an on-air interview, and all he basically went on there and said was the killers of Breonna Taylor need to be arrested. And he literally looked at them and said, "That's all I have to say."
okay,
And that was it. And that was his interview.
that's totally different to me than that. I've never watched any basketball, baseball, football, or any game wanting, needing, or thinking that we should have any type. I'm too worried about who's winning. You're pulling for your team.
Right.
You want someone to do good. And to me, let's just ask this: are players distracted by their own messages? Would a player be distracted by another player's message who they didn't agree with, or they didn't like, or
Well, that's probably why it's
see what I
having so
mean?
much control.
So
over it.
now.
That's why it's being limited to where you can only say these certain things.
So if you're affected by that, and you're thinking about that. Now you're distracted on the field, and to me that you're doing things that maybe the message is fine. I don't care about just during the game. And
I
on
mean,
the court, I
and
think
it
that's
just shows
different.
you how crazy people are going over this. Is whenever it was a topic like a week or two ago, when LeBron said he wasn't gonna have anything on the back of his jersey, it's like, so what? That's his choice,
Right.
Like you don't have to put anything. Doesn't mean he's not active in his communities, but there were people that were outraged that LeBron James
Was that-
isn't going
I
to.
think Clay Travis at Outkick was asking, are people going to be allowed to put anti-abortion messages? So, like, that's the line. Like, if we're doing political messages, what are we allowed to do and what are we not? And like Hunter said, you're controlling it if it's something else besides that. So, I think that there's just different ways to go about doing things. I don't know. All right, let me get back to the NBA. Here's your Rockets. Westbrook, James Harden, House, Covington, and P.J. Tucker. Eric Gordon, Jeff Green, and Austin Rivers off the bench. Tyson Chandler, and Mute.
Tyson Chandler.
All those guys are on that team. Like,
Man, he old as hell.
you know what Tyson Chandler can do? He can stand in the
Defense and
lane and foul
rebound.
LeBron 5 times when he drives the lane.
Defense and rebound.
Why don't people do that, Zach, more often, though? Is it because they're scared to get hurt going up against his big body?
He's a big dude.
But to me, remember what they did to Jordan? They put him on the line, and he shot 90%. They were like, you're not dunking. You're not laying it up. You're going to the line. And they don't do that to
LeBron
LeBron
can't
at
shoot
all.
90%.
Right. So why don't teams do that? Like, wouldn't you? I would put my big man in the middle, and every time LeBron drove, foul the crap out of him. Don't let him get his shot off, and put him at the line. There's a 69% chance we're going to do better him doing that than hitting layups.
And shooting jump shots.
yeah,
Because he can't shoot a jump shot. But it's a different NBA now, and they be crying, oh, my gosh, could you imagine? Oh, my gosh.
I think we talked a little bit last
ain't
week.
fair about LeBron.
I think we talked last week about how, like, your bench players now are making $10 million, and back in the day, they were making $1 million. They had to earn their stripe. So they said, Rick Mahorn, go out there and tackle this guy, or we'll cut you and find somebody else that will. Not, hey, Cody Zeller, LeBron might drive. You think he can test today? I know you got 6 fouls. Just get 2 and contest some shots. But, like, that could be way more.
You had
aggressive.
Hack-a-Shack. I mean,
And this is the playoffs. Like this, I'd go at him. Pacers, Brogdon, Oladipo. I thought he wasn't playing. They've got him listed as a projected
Oh,
starter.
Depot, I didn't think he was.
I didn't think he was playing either. I thought he was going to continue to work on his
Maybe he changed his mind.
rehabilitation. I don't know.
All right, here's your Clippers. Beverly, George, Leonard, Marcus Morris, and Zubac. With Lou Williams, Harrell, and Shamet off the bench. In rotation, more people on the bench is JaMychal Green, Reggie Jackson, Pat Patterson. Lakers. Caldwell Pope, Danny Green, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and JaVale McGee. Rotation, Caruso, Kuzma, and Quinn Cook. Dwight Howard, J.R. Smith, Markieff Morris, Deion Waiters, Jared Dudley, and that's about it. Rondo's out with a broken something. Was it arm? Wrist?
He does something in his hand again. He is a hand injury person.
Anything?
Injury problem.
Memphis ain't going to make a run. What about Miami? Anybody got them making a run?
I could see
They got
it.
a
I
good
could
team.
see it.
Says they
making-
got the hardest schedule.
I think if the Dallas Mavericks would be in the East, they would come out.
Yeah, that's
Fair
a
assessment.
possibility.
If they were in the East, they would come out.
Oh my
'cause
God, yeah. Now listen,
They're,
I'll
they're
tell
in
you
a
what.
tough. They're in a tough. I mean,
Well,
the top Clippers
Listen.
and the. But are they doing? They're
East-
not
they're
doing
still doing
East West. Though, are
They
they?
are
Yeah.
this year. Yeah, they're
They're still doing it.
I thought they weren't because if that was the case,
I was gonna lose my
Dallas
mind.
was going to have a really good shot depending on what seeding they got. But they just decided that they wanted to continue with the East West. So I still have coming out of the West the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could see them right now, but I don't know if this game's being televised, this exhibition game. And then out of the East, I think the East is the one that's got the biggest toss-up to me because is Chris Middleton going to have is he going to be the guy? Is he going to be the number 2 that Giannis needs for the Milwaukee? Is Toronto going to be, because in the West, I think it's one of the 2 LA teams, which is crazy. So, but I'm going to go with the Clippers. But in the East, it's like, is it going to be Milwaukee? Is it going to be Boston
I gotta
because they're
admit-
so deep? Is it going to be Toronto? Are the 76ers going to get their shit together? Is it going to be Miami?
All right, here's
No,
your Miami
no.
starters: Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Butler, Abadeo, and Leonard.
That's a good lineup. Man, that's a really good lineup.
Bucks is Eric Bledsoe, Wesley Matthews, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brooke Lopez. Their biggest Achilles heel hunter, Marvin Williams.
They
is on
said
the
he's
team.
been great for them. When he went there, they said he's been a good help on
He's
defense.
a good.
He's one of your best C players you can get.
right. He's one of the best 8 through 12 players you can
Yep.
get.
Imagine he wins a championship with
He is a
Milwaukee.
C plus.
Pelicans: Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram, Zion, and Derek Favors. That's a heck of a video game team.
They've got a talented team.
If
Josh
only
Hart,
they-
Melly,
Together,
JJ
together.
Redick
Listen.
off the bench, Jaleel Okafor off the bench.
If only they were 2 years older.
Yeah.
Like if the squad as a whole had been playing together for like 2 years maybe already.
There's talent all over that team.
They'd be dangerous.
Oklahoma City:
I think they'll win some games.
Chris Paul, Dort, whoever that is, Gilgeous Alexander, Gallinari, and Steven Adams. They need wing help.
But Shea Gilgeous
they
is a
got guards.
6'6" point guard.
I know
So
he's not a wing though.
I know. That's what I'm saying though. It's like he's a beast. Damn, he's a beast.
He's okay. Yeah, I like him.
He's
Orlando.
gonna be good. When Chris Paul leaves and that team becomes his, he's gonna be a star.
Orlando: Fultz, Fournier, Ennis, Gordon, and Vucevic.
I mean, they're happy to be here.
Philly:
They're happy to be here.
Shake Milton, Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid. Horford off the bench.
They'll be dangerous if they can get their shit together. They'll be dangerous.
I ain't gonna read Phoenix. Portland is Lillard, McCollum, Carmelo, Collins, and Nurkic.
Have you
This
seen?
team
Have you seen Carmelo?
does
Yeah, he's real.
He looks like Denver Carmelo right now, real
Gary
skinny.
Trent, Hassan Whiteside. Portland to me can beat anybody if they play well.
The thing is Portland's still fighting to even get in. I mean,
Right.
they're just on the outside looking in.
It says their chances. Let's see. It does.
I think it goes like Portland, Pelicans, and then the Kings. Like they're all fighting for that
It
spot.
says they only have a 9% chance of getting the 8 seed, a 91% chance they're out.
Wait, no. Maybe it's the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
I
right
don't know.
in front.
Somebody's right in front of Portland, and it's gonna be tough.
Phoenix has got 26 wins. I don't know why they didn't put these in order. I think they're in alphabetical order. Okay, that's why I was trying to figure out why in the world that was like that.
Right.
What about the Spurs? Anything for them?
No, God, no. They're happy to be there.
Raptors. Lowry, Van Vliet, Anube, Siakam, and Ibaka. Zach, if I'd have told you the Raptors got rid of their starting shooting guard and small forward, the MVP of the finals, and they'd still be the 2 seed, would you tell me I was crazy?
Not completely crazy.
Yeah?
Because they had a good team last year. They
Is
just
Kyle
he
Lowry,
just-
how underrated is Kyle Lowry?
and then Siakam, he just slid into the role. So you always talk about you need a couple people to make the team.
Utah Jazz, Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert.
No,
They're gonna be,
I think
they're
they
gonna
need-
be fighting because they got COVID from each other still.
yeah, but I think they're maybe a year or two out, maybe an extra player. But I like them. I think they're good.
Hunter still has the team in the playoff hunt.
Shut up. We're ass.
I know. You're better than the Nets.
Yeah. No, Bradley Beal not playing. We ain't got no scoring.
Here's the Washington Wizards lineup, Zach. You ready?
Can't be worse than the Nets.
Oh, my God. I don't know. Shabazz Napier,
I know that.
Jerome Robinson,
I don't know that.
Isaac Bonga. This is the only one I know. I know Napier. Rui Hachimura.
He'll show out.
I told you he's going to be a baller.
He's good, man.
And Thomas Bryant.
I know Thomas Bryant.
I don't know.
Thomas Bryant is the one that I saw Dwight Howard say, "Take my bags," and he just looked at him all pissed as hell.
Ish Smith, Moritz Wagner, Troy Brown coming off the bench. Got some studs there.
God, yeah. Oof, man,
All right.
we are deep.
Who's your picks for the finals?
Clippers. Boston.
Zach,
Lakers Heat.
we're going to have 3 different ones. Y'all ready? Raptors.
Okay.
Houston.
Hunter,
Denver.
There you go.
That's
I
a
sent you the
dangerous
tweet,
team.
Hunter.
He's
Let me get back up to my boys. How about them Denver Nuggets?
they're so young.
Did you, Zach? You probably hadn't seen
They're
it.
loaded. I know they're loaded.
They've got a secret weapon that nobody else
They've got a lot of
have.
B plus players.
Their secret weapon, who I warned in the draft was going to change and make an impact on the NBA, is now catching alley oops from the Joker. Bol. He's a baller. He's
And
going to
he
be
can shoot
good.
threes.
He's 7 foot, whatever he is.
He's gonna be like his dad and
But he can dribble. He's got handles. Here, Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Will Barton, Paul Millsap, and the Joker. With Monte Morris, Jeremy Grant, and Torrey Gregg in the rotation. The depth chart, the guys off the bench, Bobo's in this group because they haven't seen him run. Mason Plumlee, Michael Porter Jr., Noah Vonleh, Bol, and Tyler Cook.
My God, they're gonna lose. They got damn Noah Vonleh on the team.
Anybody's got a Hornet. You
Yeah.
picked Kimba. He's never won a playoff series.
Yeah, but at least I
Not
picked the
one.
only Hornet that could go out there and drop you 25 easy. Besides, he's got other players around him that can drop 20. So
Zach Bobo is 7'2", 220 pounds. And he's ready to rock.
if he shoots threes like his dad did on Tecmo basketball, then
Actually, his career overall 3-point
gets you
percentage
good.
was good. That was probably a good idea, whoever it was teaching him to do that, because he could only really run. He couldn't. You didn't really want him under the basket on offense because he couldn't get back on defense. He's got a 7'9" wingspan, Bobo, soft touch, getting stronger and healthier. Ready to see him compete down here in the bubble and see if he can help out the team. But anyway, that's my. He looks like he's 75 years old,
yeah, it looks like an old
but he's
ass
only
man.
20. Well, we think we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Could be a Shabazz Muhammad type deal.
Well, his dad
Lied about his age.
wasn't his dad off for like 5 years or something? Didn't they think we didn't know his age? Or
Yeah.
they don't keep birth
Age.
records. I think
He might
in
be
their
75.
village.
Shit.
There was a couple other things down here at the bottom I want to get to. NFL, you did talk a little bit about that
Yeah.
on the stickers. Any other news and notes as far as I'm gonna click on that
Other
just
than
in
that,
case here in a minute.
pretty sure they're on pace to no preseason games. That's about it. On pace for
I
it.
guess that's fine. Baseball plays the whole month of spring training, and they lose their minds over 4
4 football
preseason
games.
games. Basketball plays a preseason. They play 10, 15 games, something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know the exact number.
I don't know. I bet, but in all seriousness, other than that, like NFL is still quiet. There's been no murmurs about maybe a delay. It's looking to be starting just fine.
The players have been complaining online. They're worried that the NFL.
That was one of them. That was one of the
taking
complaints.
Precautions
Was the fact that they were still expected to be playing preseason games.
right? Okay,
That was part of it. I mean, there's others, but that was part of it.
I was trying, 14 minutes. I don't know what all this stuff is. All right, let me click over on the NFL page for just a second before we get out of here in the day. Actually, Zach, a couple things on NASCAR. Haven't talked to you. Did you watch the All-Star?
I did not.
They kind of messed up a little bit on. One thing they didn't think about, and maybe you'll know what I'm talking about when I say it, is that at Bristol there's usually 40 cars on the track, or in a regular race, right? Well, what makes it competitive is that the track's so short and the cars are all
the whole track
at all times. You're banging with a car, whether it's a lapped car or not. Well, in the All-Star race, what do you have?
Half of
20 cars. The leaders never caught the people in the back, so the leaders never had a chance to slow down. So whoever got out in front,
that was it.
Was out in front the whole night because there was nothing to slow them down, and they could run the best line. There's nothing in front of them. So, and on a short track, you're braking, wondering about if you're even going to hit the gas, and then you got a guy beside you and a guy behind you. So everybody in the back's banging, and so the leader kept pulling away, and we didn't have what we thought we were going to have. I think as far as competitiveness in it, they messed up the lights, the underglow of the lights. It was only coming out the back and not under the wheels. But anyway, that was that. This weekend, I didn't get to see much of the race actually this weekend because it's my daughter's birthday party on Sunday, and I came in, Hunter.
Yeah.
On a check, Jimmy was in 8th place, went back outside, got a drink, came back. He's in 37th, 10 laps down. Like, what happened? He ended up getting bumped and wrecked a little bit there. So.
Well, I'll tell you this, Kevin.
Yep.
Bowl has scored an official basket.
Uh-oh.
They are scrimmaging
Oh,
right now
today?
against Washington.
And he's getting playing time?
He's getting playing time.
Ooh,
He just
I'm telling y'all.
He just
Y'all
got
in
an
trouble.
assist from the Joker who threw it from half court.
I don't know why I'm so excited about this, but I'm like, of all the teams, I'm excited about that guy. I liked Manute Ball, 7-footer that can dribble and shoot. He's underrated.
He never got a shot really in the NBA. He just kind of meandered.
He talking about the teams
dad,
and everything.
His dad, yeah.
It was they almost teams kind of used him as a sideshow.
Yeah.
For a lot of
Because
it.
he's so big.
He's 7'7". It's just that's stupid. That's stupid big. I'm gonna pull up a ball highlight here in a minute. I just want people to see.
To understand.
Let's see. NBA ends a relationship with an academy in China. So there's just something may have come up here. Maybe somebody did some digging, Hunter, and found something they probably shouldn't have over there. Anything else across the board? That's my NBA page I'm sitting there on. I'm trying to get to the NFL page. My internet's being slow. Surprise on that one. NASCAR's in Kansas this weekend. Zach, what do you think real quick? One of the biggest thing in NASCAR this week, Hunter, as well, they're not going to do practice or qualifying the rest of the year.
That road course could be interesting.
The rest, not that though. Think about this. This is the big thing.
I'll tell you what, it's a bunch of iRacing.
Playoffs. So think about it. If you're just random drawing the playoffs, you only have 3 races.
You better hope you get a damn good draw.
Right, to get the points you need. Well, you're on the edge. You get a 35 draw.
You're done.
I mean, especially at a short track or something, you can't catch anybody, and it's not Daytona. You can't just get up through the field or something. That's an issue, starting in the back. Then, like you just said, the practice, the Daytona road course, they never rode it. So the first time they're going to take one, they're going to turn into turn one. They're the first time ever, nobody knows how much to break. That is insane to me. And some of the folks are mad and upset and can't figure out what the problem is. The least they could do, I don't know, Zach, I mean, they're talking about running practice. Let's say if it's even practice, I don't understand. Here was the argument: is people said, why can't they just do qualifying? And the guys should know they better be careful and not wreck the car. And they were like, well, guys ain't going to do that. They're going to go as hard as they can. Some people are going to scrape the car. They'll have to go to a backup car. That's why they don't want to do
We're just all wrecking turn one.
Right. So instead, we're just all wrecking the first turn. There's no brake lights.
There's a pile up at turn one.
Think about it. You don't have brake lights or a speedometer, and you're driving $1 million car down into turn one or whatever
you're
it is,
leading the
and
race.
you've never done it. The
Hammer-
leader's
hammer
in
down.
the best spot.
Hammer down.
Everybody else in the middle, if you're in 20s, and this is the playoffs.
Yeah, but he's
too.
going to cause the wreck. He's going to
Right.
go slamming in.
Oh, that too. Well, and think about just the playoffs, Zach, the starting and the non-practicing, and just man, it's going to be tough. You know, the old tracks, the guys that have raced there before, they know kind of what to do and how to react. But still, that's totally different than the crew chiefs getting these cars ready, getting these cars rocking. Some people even proposed putting the last 16, putting the whatever cars are in the playoffs in order of points, but make them the last 16 cars, and then make them all fight up through the field, as opposed to putting them in the front and letting them lead all day. That was another proposal. So I don't know how you feel about that. Hell, it's better. I don't know if it's better than a random. I mean, at least they're all together, whether it's in front or back. I just think those 16, then 12, 8, however they do it, if you're not having actual qualifying, do they not need to be kind of near each other or close to each other to make it fair?
Here's how we do it. We just let them qualify during iRacing. Whatever they qualify in iRacing,
iRacing.
then they get it on the
That's
thing.
not too terrible, but I don't know. Hunter, what do you think about that?
I don't.
And
know.
they can have a little feel of the track.
They would. The NASCAR fans will lose their ever-loving mind if we did that. Probably. Let's see. Kansas this weekend. The best way to describe it is we'll start on the back stretch. So it's a straightaway. Once you start turning into turn 3 and 4, your wheel is turned all the way back to the back till you get to the straightaway again. There's a front stretch. It's not a straightaway on the front. It's more of a, you know how Charlotte is a diamond kind of, or the tri-oval.
Yeah.
That's what it's shaped like that, but it's a shorter course, so it's almost like a circle. So in Kansas, you're never not turning the wheel a little to your left there. So that's on that. Hunter, I'm gonna get over to the NFL real quick so we can finish up. We'll make sure I cover everything. I don't care about ranking the teams. Just on NFL confirms masks are mandatory if fans are allowed, Zach. So that's what they're looking and talking about that. I don't know if they're going to allow them to sit together. Hunter, did you see the 40-yard dash, the 100-yard dash between T.O.?
Mm-hmm.
He won the 100 with a 5-yard head start. Andre said he had 10 yards.
They said 10.
Was it 10? It looked like 5 to me.
Yeah,
They said 10.
he was only a few steps behind on that 40.
Right, and that was after they retired and run once.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to me, if they'd have run the 100, he would have just been barely behind him on the 100. And if they ran the 40 first, I think it'd just only been like one step behind him. And also, when you look at it, when you watch the video of T.O. on the second one, I don't know if you heard the guy saying go. He was awful. He goes, "You guys ready?" I go, "Ready. I'm ready." And he goes, "Set, go." Like, that was it. It wasn't like, "On your mark, get set, go." It was, "Get set, go." And so, I think T.O. had a misstep, is what I say. You could see Tyreek's feet starting before T.O.'s on the 40-yard dash. But still, Hunter, 47 years old, 40.
Still getting it.
Is that good?
Pretty good. Go play in Canada.
You know, the problem is he'd have to catch it. I got to take a shot, too. I like him. But he had some alligator arms. I'm not seeing anything else across the
No,
across
like I'm
the
saying,
board.
so far, NFL is trying to get everything right back on time. I think it's going to happen.
blah, 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 blah. Okay, I want to make sure. Let me pull up my bold highlights and some fun tweets, and we'll get out of here. That was if you heard our phone ringing, that was a spam call from the folks out in where they are. But anyway, fun tweets for the day. Probably don't have too many. It's only been 2 days. These might be more interesting tweets. This does have to do with sports. A Michigan school district fired a baseball teacher for tweeting out these words: "Trump is our president." Baseball teacher fired for tweeting out those words in Michigan. We talked a little North Carolina sports earlier. We talked the app about Major League Baseball. And then, I really don't have too many other fun tweets going across the board. Hunter, you got anything?
Nah, I'm looking. I don't really have anything right now.
Did y'all get into the soccer thing? Your logo when I walked down the hall, was you talking about that? Did you talk about
I
soccer?
showed him.
Okay.
I showed him the soccer.
I'm saying, did you talk
I
about it on
didn't.
the show?
No, not the show.
Real quick, Charlotte, go ahead. We'll finish with that.
I was just gonna say, Charlotte. Since we're here in North Carolina, Charlotte has revealed the name and the crest for the MLS team coming to Charlotte. Charlotte FC will be revealed in 2022. Was supposed to be revealed and come to fruition in 2021, but it will be in 2022. They are Charlotte FC, and I really like the emblem. I really do.
It's the dumbest and boringest thing ever. Have a mascot. Let's go.
No.
Have a mascot.
This is not the day and age for mascots.
So you're supposed to say, "Go Charlotte."
People say, "Go Carolina."
Why did they have
People say, "Go Duke."
Why do they even put names?
Go State.
Why do they even have a fan thing where you can vote and look at stuff and say this is the one I like, this is what I like? If they were even going to put a name,
I know.
just no name.
I know.
I'm showing some bowl highlights. If you folks watching, like wondering what I'm showing, watch this big old tall dude in the middle. Get out of here, little boy! He gonna block that with his elbow. Send in the lane, alley-oop, just put it in. Bowl. I want him show some dribbling and stuff. This is him at Oregon. And Zach, just watching him run, he runs way better than his dad ever did. And
he's a lot more athletic.
5 inches shorter.
Yeah.
There's back to the basket, spin. I mean, he jumped outside the lane and did a finger on the lane. The dude is just shorter than him. Like, what are you going to do? There's Bobo playing some defense on the perimeter, blocks the shot. What do you do about that? That's like Austin Rivers is an amazing shot he hit over Tyler Zeller. I still can't believe he got that ball up in the air over him. Zeller probably, teaching defense probably should have scooted up a little bit. I don't know why he's so far back. Ball taking off there with the big dunk. This is all against Eastern Washington, of course, and there's your fade away. That's the thing to me. He's got a shot, Zach. He can fade away. He can pull the three. It's just weird, I guess, for these people seeing a 7-footer move like that. Almost Giannis kind of size and length and speed. I would say I don't think he's got the ball handling skills as Durant yet. I think he's much more better defender. I think he's more in Giannis's range as far as that stuff. He might even be able to shoot better than Giannis though, Hunter. I think he can shoot threes pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a mixture of that. I don't think he's got the ball handling at all to do what Durant does, but you play him to me 3, 4, and 5. There's a 3 from the corner. Butter. You ever seen his dad shoot, Hunter? You ever seen any Manute Bowl highlights?
No.
You know the biggest question, of course, Zach, is, don't you, about his skills? You don't?
No.
What everybody's worried about? The biggest question mark is he might be able to shoot a basketball, but can he bowl? Can bowl? Is that important?
No.
No.
No, it's not important.
This is the Manute Bowl Ultimate Career Mixtape. All right, folks, we're going to play it out here. I'm going to play some music once it comes up. We'll see some Manute Bowl. Not Bowl. Oh, gosh, what's the captain doing? Let me find my Playmakers music. Get that going. Desktop audio. Play on this. We'll show some folks the Manute. All 7'7" of him. Just ridiculous. Larry Bird, get it out of here. I want him to show him shoot a 3. These are all block shots right now. We know he can do that. There's Barkley. A floater over Jordan. There's Muggsy taking it to him and dumping it off. Remember they was on the same team, Zach? Mm-hmm. There was a bullet, Hunter. There's Ronnie Cycler. He didn't have a chance, did he, Zach?
No.
Oh, God. There it is for 3. Oof. Thank you, everybody, for watching Shock Joxx Sports Talk. Kevin Hastings, Zach Mayu, Hunter Yancey, and, of course, the Bowl family joins our show today on KTCBroadcasting.com. We'll see you guys Saturday